You know that feeling? Like every door is closing and you just can't see a way out? Being unemployed, underemployed, or just out of school feels a lot like that. But when you find the right tools, suddenly everything just clicks. Getting on that path may be easier than you think. A good place to start? Go to findsomethingnew.org. At findsomethingnew.org, you have access to resources that help develop new skills. Skills that will position you for careers in today's growing industries, from healthcare and manufacturing to cybersecurity and alternative energy. Plus, you can take advantage of online courses, certification programs, apprenticeships, and more. So you can take yourself from unemployed and uncertain to empowered and prepared for what's next. Visit findsomethingnew.org. A message from the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my
ABC
adopted
News,
mom.
I'm Sherry Preston. He was eating hash browns. The 26-year-old accused of gunning down health insurance exec Brian Thompson last week was spotted at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, eating McDonald's hash browns. A law enforcement bulletin in one state warning about possible similar attacks as well. Here's ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
Police are urged to be on high alert about widespread threats on social media against healthcare executives and their families. That's according to a Colorado law enforcement bulletin obtained by ABC News. It says Brian Thompson's killing may be used as messaging and propaganda to share the gunman's techniques and tactics. The bulletin talks about a growing negative sentiment around conglomerates, the wealthy, and executive staff at private and public organizations.
The rebels who overtook the Syrian government are already meeting about a transition government. President Bashar al-Assad overthrown over the weekend. He and his family have fled to Russia. The FBI appealing to the public for help as sightings of drones in northeastern states increase. This is ABC News. In Washington, President Biden is set to deliver a speech today focused on the economy ahead of his departure next month.
The White House says President Biden today will tout his economic record, focusing on the actions he's taken to bring down costs for everyday necessities, help small businesses, and invest in infrastructure and American workers. The president will highlight the success the U.S. has had in driving down inflation faster and lower than other advanced economies around the world. Mr. Biden's also expected to criticize President-elect Donald Trump for his economic proposals, saying the country is at an inflection point about how best to grow the middle class. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
In a unanimous decision announced this morning, the Supreme Court has voted to uphold the Department of Homeland Security's discretion to revoke a visa at any time. The justice is rejecting the appeal of an American woman whose non-citizen husband, a Palestinian national, was denied a visa after DHS had initially approved it. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
A southern Colorado mountain park will reopen.
The Panadero Ski Corporation received funding from the Colorado State Outdoor Recreation Grant to support Cuchara Mountain Park. Governor Polis says increasing access to high country recreation is great for Coloradans and strengthens our local economies. A nonprofit, the Panadero Ski Corporation brings skiing and year-round recreation to Cuchara Mountain Park, a ski area in Huerfano County. The park will reopen for the 2024-2025 ski season on December 14th.
Star Ela Aloe reporting. State Parks and Wildlife reminding people to decorate for the holidays with wildlife in mind. CPW's gotten an increase of calls regarding deer getting their antlers tangled in decorations. Parks and Wildlife says people can help by making sure decorations are attached firmly to structures and that lights are strung at least 8 feet off the ground. They recommend not draping lights on top of bushes or wrapping them around tree trunks. That's the latest. I'm David Kale.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Gravina's Window Center of Littleton.
Yeah, freeways continue to loosen in pretty good shape. Some slow spots still remain. I-25 south from Broadway heading down past Colorado. Tech Center's much better, had an earlier stall. A little sluggish in towards downtown and C472 Highlands Ranch. Looks like westbound from Lucid back to I-25 is sluggish. We're still seeing a little jamming south on 225 coming off I-7.
What's up, everybody? Adnan Burke here to tell you about a new podcast. It's NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here, and after playing 700 NHL games, I got a lot of dirty laundry to air out.
Each week we'll get together and chat about the sport that we love.
But we're not just going to be talking hockey, folks. We're talking movies, we're talking TV, food, and Adnan's favorite, wrestling. It's all on Le Table.
Listen to NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers and start listening.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk station on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
I'm going to be in a jury trial this week, so you're going to have a star-studded cast of folks hosting the show. George Brockler, Deborah Flora, Heidi Ganal, Christy Burton Brown. Hope you join them on the Dan Kapla Show.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help us come and make.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Show of its kind. How's everybody doing today on this snowy morning here in Denver? We are here to help you to solve your problems, answer questions, take complaints. You know the drill. You've been ripped off. You've been taken advantage of. Maybe you want to just expose some words I wish I could use on radio, but I can't. So I'll stick this scumbag who maybe took money and ran. Maybe you need a little help going after him. We use the power of the media. That's right. The power of the media to go after those that have wronged you. The phone number's easy. I'll always let you know when a line's open. 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. And then don't forget, help at troubleshooter.com. John Fuller, attorney at law, joins me in studio today. John, how are you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Good morning.
We got Deputy Scott over here. Guys, I got to start with this, and I promise I'm going to jump to the phones. This murderer, this guy in New York who killed the CEO of the health insurance company, United Healthcare, I'm starting to see a lot of people sympathize with him. Here's what I know about it, and I don't know what's true, what's not true, but what I've read is this. When he was 15 or 16, he actually worked at an old folks home, and he probably saw a lot of denial of coverages. I'm just total assumption on my part. I don't know what's in this guy's head, but what I'm thinking of is the different things he left in that manifesto he handwrote, almost like Ted Kaczynski. It's kind of a strange deal. But anyhow, this guy worked in the old folks home. He apparently had back problems that the surgery didn't go well. I don't know if they didn't allow him to get additional surgeries or additional treatments that might have helped him. But I can't believe the amount of sympathizers that are online talking about this guy. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Now, look, if you listen to this show, I bitch about health insurance companies all the time. Ever since Obamacare got involved and basically they choose a doctor, they mandate what kind of coverage you have. Now, it's changed a little. And if you didn't want coverage, they'd actually tax you. I mean, it was kind of crazy when it first came out. But Obamacare, honestly, I think ruined it. It was good for some people, I guess. If you didn't work and were able to work, wanted coverage, you could get it. So there's different arguments to be made. But for me and mine, it was the worst thing that ever happened. Our insurance premiums are through the sky. Right now, till this day, there's only 3 people. My son's got his own coverage now. But my daughter, who's in law school, is still on ours. You want to know how much we spend, Scott? You're looking at me like, go ahead and tell me. Premiums premiums for the three of us, and this is Kaiser, and it's a HSA plan. It's about as cheap as you can get.
$8,000 a year.
No, God, no. $1,300 a month, so that's what, $16,000. Then on top of that, we're $6,000 or $7,500 out of pocket before they pay for anything. So for $22,000 a year, we each get a free physical. Yeah! A free physical each year. Can you believe it? That's how bad Obamacare is. Pre-Obamacare, I had a Goodyear store. We had 49 employees, and we covered everybody there. We covered the employee and I think half the spouse, whatever the deal was. And back then, the average employee, including myself, I was an employee of my own company. I mean, we were paying maybe $400 or $500 a month for the premium. And then we actually had coverage. In other words, you'd show up, you have a $20.80 copay. If it's a $4,000 deal, you'd be $800, $1,000 out of pocket. I mean, it's crazy. But I hate insurance companies, but it's kind of nuts thinking that people are kind of sticking up for this guy. He's like, I mean, do you think John Fuller, see, this is crazy. I'm going to use the term Robin Hood, but I don't really mean it as, steal from the rich, give to the poor. But I mean, what do you make of this? What do you make of people online talking about someone had to do this? I mean, you must get the frustration people have with healthcare, but this is insane to go murder somebody over it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but it's nothing really new. I mean, the outrage that's kind of missing here is a little bit surprising, but it kind of isn't. I mean, think about for years and years in the auto, arena, we've had Allstate out there advertising like, the loneliest chair in the courthouse, and they're trying to personalize the fact that any claim is a claim against everybody.
Yeah,
and they demonize the plaintiff and villainize the plaintiffs to the point that that there's this stigma that attaches to making a claim, even if it's a claim on a policy that you bought and paid for.
But don't they, and I don't mean just automotive, but even healthcare, don't they almost make it seem, well, especially automotive, they actually have commercials and they actually try to brainwash people into believing that. Like, oh, if you make a claim, you're just an ambulance chaser.
Right.
That's the dumbest thing you can do. You're going to make it bad on everybody else.
Yeah, that's absolutely what they do, and that's the message, and I fight it every single day. I have people that legitimately have damages and are the victims of other people's negligence and even other people's lack of having any insurance that when it comes time to finally make a claim against their own uninsured motorist,
they're hesitant.
They say, oh, I don't,
and that's purely from the brainwashing.
I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to get canceled by my own insurance company. And the reality is, they're right. I mean, there is a penalty that goes along with making claims. In general, there's a state law that says they can't cancel you for making a UM claim, but the theory is correct. The more claims you have, the worse you are as a potential insurance customer.
Well, of course you are. Same with homeowners. Same with healthcare.
Health insurance, same way.
It's just kind of crazy. But any comments on that? I kind of look forward. I'd actually like to hear from somebody that's a little outrageous on it to pick their brain. I mean, if you got denied, say your wife got denied, and she ends up dying, and you don't know if whatever she was denied for would have saved her life or not, for sure, but I mean, in your own mind, you probably think that way. You're like, oh, if they would have only approved that certain treatment for cancer out in New York or whatever it is, that could have very possibly helped her, extended her life, but they deny it? I mean, I understand where people are coming from, but my God, to do what he did in cold blood like that, you guys have seen that video, right? He was calm, cool, collective. I mean, this guy, at first I thought maybe he was an assassin or something. And then writing on the bullets, it's crazy. Hey, Matthew, what's going on with this concrete job?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So I just wanted to kind of complain about this guy, blast him out into the world.
Is this, I'm looking at this business card, professional landscaping and concrete service. Call Mr. My anytime. Is this the guy we're talking about?
That is him. He goes by Kevin.
Well, according to this card, he's going to make it easy for you. So did he make it easy for you?
He did at the very beginning because he sounded very confident in his work. But throughout the process, he made it a living hell. And at this point in time, it's still a living hell.
Well, what's it look like now? I see the business card, but I'll be damned, man. I don't see any pictures of the job. What was it, a driveway? What was it?
It was a back patio.
So they poured the patio, and then what was the first problem you had?
So throughout his process, he demoed it out, and then he put the rebar down, and then he had the rebar too close to the forms. So I'd taken pictures, sent it to him to say it's too close, rebar's too small, you need to fix it. He said, okay, I will. And then he did that, and then he didn't compact anything, and I said, you need to compact it. And he said, okay, I will. I didn't upload any photos, but he had poured another slab on the side of the house.
Well, where does it sit right now? I mean, does it look bad, or you're just saying it's too thin, not enough rebar? What is your issue with it?
My issue is where he poured it, where he didn't compact it in the front area, it's sagging down from the house now.
Okay.
And there's another part.
Well, when it's hold on, are you saying it's sloped away from the house like it should be?
No, I'm saying like I caulked it when he got done. You know, I waited for it to cure, and then I caulked it so it's sealed up on the house.
Yeah.
And then you could see where it's falling down, pulling the caulking off the wall.
Yeah.
So
it's settling a little. I mean, how bad is this? So what is the fix? Are you saying the only way to fix it is to what? Jackhammer it out?
Jackhammer it out or to level it up. And then there's another part.
Well, hold on. That's what I'm trying to figure out from you. Like, for example, would mud jacking work at this point?
I don't think it would help
in
the situation. And then there's a part where he had the gate. He had put a really big bevel at the gate so the gate can close. And then when I put the gate back on, it wouldn't shut or anything. And I had, before he poured the concrete.
Now, the gate doesn't shut because it's shifted, right?
Well, that's the other part is the other side of the gate is the concrete was too high.
Got it.
Before he poured the concrete, I opened the gate and it was hitting the rebar. So therefore, it would have been too high no matter what.
I got to see some pictures of this, Matthew.
Yes.
When can you send some?
I can do that very soon.
All right, hold on, man. I'm going to put you on hold. Here's what we're going to do. I want to get some pictures of that. I'm going to have one of our experts from Proform Concrete on the air after I send these pictures to him. We'll discuss it with him. And what area of town are you in?
Green Valley Ranch.
That's not too bad. If needed, maybe we send him over there. What is this guy Mai saying at this point? Or what did you say his name was? Or what is he like going by?
Kevin.
Okay, and what does he say right now? It's fine or what?
I said come out. He hasn't responded to my texts or calls.
He just won't. Okay, hold on a second. So, Kelly, couple things. One, let's see if we can't get Kevin on. Let's give him the opportunity to come on. This guy just talked about him. And let's see if we can figure out what he has to say about it. But I need those pictures so we can send them to our expert and go from there. All right, listen, we've already got a stacked house. By the way, Deputy Dimitri just walked in, so we're here to kick ass for you today. Nicole, Liz, Mav. How do you pronounce that, Kelly? For the life of me, how do you pronounce M-A-E-V-E? Maeve? Mav? I don't know. We'll figure it out after this.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code OIL25.
This one's hard to believe, but I promise you it's true. Discount Bath. Imagine that. The word discount and a remodeling contractor all in the same word. These guys are great. They've been out to our house. They do quality remodels at, of course, discount prices. They're upfront, transparent pricing you're going to love. They'll come out. They can do just the shower. Maybe you want to get rid of that old tub and do a walk-in shower, a zero threshold. Maybe you're getting older. You don't want to trip. They can do it all, or they can do the entire bathroom all by itself. They can knock walls down. They can expand the closet. They can extend whatever you want done at a discount price. You're going to love their warranties. You're absolutely going to love their people, too. They come out. They give you that upfront pricing. They go over everything. You're going to be happy with the pricing. You're going to be happy with the project. You're just going to be happy. Check them out, discountbath.com. It doesn't get any easier than that. Go there right now, discountbath.com. Let's talk about a woman that knows how to find the money. That's Brooke in Red Rock Solar. If you have a commercial property, maybe a duplex, maybe you own, I don't know, a barn that you work out of, any kind of commercial property, she can find the grants, she can find the tax credits, and most likely, yeah, I said it, most likely, get you 95 to 100% of the project paid, and I am not kidding at all. Call up for details, and if you have a home solar system and you need someone to work on it, they do it. You want a new home system, they do it. Red Rocks RS Roof and Solar, redrocksrs.com.
We're available. We're on from 10 a.m. to 2.
Mr. in front of his name on his card.
Yeah, it says,
Mr. Kevin? That's a done deal for me.
I'll send it to you. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Forward. Send it to John.
I don't hire anybody with Mr. on their business card.
Dimitri.
Just rules to live by, you know?
Yeah. I mean, but being foreign like that, he figures, oh, it lends
What's your email,
credibility.
Scott?
I don't care.
What?
Oh, I got it. I found it.
Okay.
Don't care who you are.
Right.
Bam, you guys have it. Yeah, so it says, it's a weird looking card too. Or he had a really old scanner. But yes, call Mr. Mai, M-A-I. Anytime. Anytime, that is. And then he has 2 phone numbers, which is odd.
He's an important guy.
Yeah.
You know that
He's a
because
Mr.
he's got 2 names or 2 phones and a Mr.
But
If he was just like Leroy, you would not feel like he was as accomplished as
That's true.
Mr. Mai, you know?
I'll tell you, the plumber that ripped me off, or no, HVAC guys years ago, it's our first house. We were like, I don't know, I was probably 23. I hired him because I saw his van, and it had some biblical thing on it. And I was sure that anybody that advertises they're a religious person could never rip me off.
Yeah.
Holy shit, they ripped my head off and shit down my throat.
You have been, what did he do? Get this postcard in the mail and call this guy? Yeah.
Oh, that is a postcard.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, good point. It says resident.
Come on, man.
Hey, but it's 15% off, man.
That's right, for new customers. There you go.
Well, I'm shocked that this guy has any problem with him, because according to his business card, there should be no problems.
He gives 15% off to new customers, but sticks it to his old ones, you know?
Yeah.
Let us make it easy for you.
Right.
These liberals are going nuts at his entire, everybody he's putting up for nominations going through.
Who is it today?
Well, Ernst is saying she's gonna. I think he got okey
Hello.
doke, man.
Hey, I've been instructed to make an appointment with Dr. Zeppelin.
You don't like him. You told me that. The one you were right on, though, was
Nope, not
what's
at
his
all.
face
I,
from
worked
Florida.
with a guy who taught
He got
me
out of Dodge quick.
Yeah, he was out like that day.
He was
Okay,
out
okay,
really
Oscar.
quick.
Something about 14-year-olds that just, you know.
All right.
Oh, how about who's the new rapper? Jay-Z?
Well, that allegation has been out there for a long time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now it's just big because P. Diddy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the main thing was that he got added to one of the lawsuits. So before it was just kind of a lingering allegation out there.
It was Celebrity B or something.
Right.
I wonder who the woman is. All right, 303-713-8255. One line open. Kelly, did we try to get through to Mr. Mai over at the concrete place?
Sort of thing you've seen.
Any luck there? I guess she's on the phone. Kelly, you are allowed to speak on air, you know. So I would like to know when you get a few minutes whether or not we tried to reach out. 303-713-8255. Regardless, we are going to help that guy out. We're going to get pictures of the bad job. We're going to send them to one of our experts at referralist.com. And then after that, we might even send out one of our experts to check it out if it's that bad. Now, let's go to Nicole. Nicole, what is going on with you in Walmart?
Well, it's not me, my friend.
Okay.
She's the elderly
Is that a
lady.
wink, my friend, or a real friend?
You know? No, just a girlfriend.
Got it.
She's an elderly lady, and she was shopping at Walmart, and she wasn't feeling right. There was too many people, so she went to another section of the store. And some lady came up to her and asked her if she would help her with her groceries. And she said, well, what do you mean? Like, take them to your car? Or she goes, no, help me pay for them.
Oh.
She goes, well, that depends. What is it? And it was 3 cans of formula, so she said she would pay for those. And she wanted to go to a register by where she was parked, but the lady kept insisting that they go to a certain register.
This is crazy. So hold on. She walks up out of the blue. What did she have besides the 3 things of formula? Anything?
No, that's all she showed her.
And she said, hey, could you help me out and buy this? And then she wanted to pick out the register. My brain is just going, where is this going? So keep going.
So I couldn't. It was hard for me to understand too. Like, why would you go to the registry you want, not the one she wants? But she went to the register she wanted to, and she told the register that she wanted to do 2 separate transactions, and they told her that they couldn't do that. She had to do it all in one.
Well, first of all, Walmart, I have a hard time believing that. They don't care if you want to. People go in there and pay for stuff on, say, their company card for business stuff and then pay another way. So I don't even understand that. Is it a self-checkout or is it a person?
Oh, she went to, there was a person.
Okay, well, that doesn't make sense. So what happened?
So she ended up, the bill ended up being $880.
Okay, wait a minute.
She said,
how the hell does that happen? What'd they get? A gift card? A Walmart gift card? What happened?
Well, when I went back to Walmart and I talked to them about this, I had to. She couldn't even get the receipt from them. She kept trying to get the receipt, and the cash register guy said, "Well, I put it in the bag." And she goes, and before I knew it, the girl was grabbing my bag.
Are you saying? Hold on, Nicole. Are you assuming that the Walmart employee was in cahoots?
I think so. I mean, why did they have to go to one register? And
I don't know.
2 transactions.
So what happened after that? $800 was for what? Why was it $800?
Well, my friend had her groceries too, so that's why she had wanted 2 separate transactions, because she wanted hers separate from the other girls.
No,
that's a lot of groceries.
Hold on a second. I mean, you said all she had was the 3 things of formula, right? Is that not right?
Right.
That's all she had, this other woman.
Had.
That's all she had.
Yeah.
And then the woman you're talking about had what, a cart full of groceries?
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, why is it $800?
That's what she was trying to say, and the guy told her, well, the Enflamil was $50 a can, and then the Claritin, and she goes, what? I didn't get Claritin. And the girl, I guess, Walmart came back and said they watched the video. Well, first they said, when I went to them, they said, this is a known organized crime that's happening in Weld County with Romanians, and they're taking advantage of the older people. Then they're coming back with the
I'm going to say something right off the bat. I don't think Walmart is in cahoots for one reason. I assume the receipt is, at some point on her charge card, it says Walmart $800, right?
No, she paid cash and card.
Oh my God! How much cash did she pay?
$300.
See, now the whole story's falling apart. Why would she pay $300 in cash for 3 cans of baby food?
Well, it was for everything. He wouldn't ring the transactions up separately.
That doesn't. Go ahead, John. I mean, my brain's exploding.
So what's the issue here? I mean,
so Walmart knows about this that's happening, and they're not warning the
So is
the
your
public.
friend upset that the Enfamil was so overpriced and that she snuck a thing of Claritin in there?
Yeah,
I mean,
how much
what
worth of Claritin are we talking?
Right.
Well, there was more than just Claritin. So I guess they said the Walmart employee said that every time she turned her back, she was grabbing
and I'm
stuff
not
off the
trying to
shelf.
argue with you, Nicole, but I keep going back to this. I've asked you 3 times now. All the woman had was the 3 things of formula. You said yes. Where did she sneak the Claritin into her cart? I mean, where did the Claritin even come from?
I don't know. The Walmart employee said that as they watched the video, every time my friend turned her back, she was grabbing stuff off the shelves and throwing it on the register.
Oh my God!
So at the end of the day, your friend got a receipt, and it showed that there was extra items that she didn't buy. How much were those extra items?
Yeah, how much did she get ripped for? $500-$600? What is it?
$580 is what Walmart said.
Oh my God!
And
Were they
so-
and they didn't do anything, I assume.
Yeah, that's where my issue lies. Is,
Well, and I don't know if that's an issue with Walmart. I mean, it really sucks, and I agree with you. The fact they knew it and that this is going on, you'd think they'd be on the lookout for it. I mean, John, as an attorney, I want you to put your attorney hat on real quick. Do you see any liability? And you got to take her for her word right now. They knew this was kind of a thing going on in the store, according to what she said. Do they have any liability here?
God, I'm trying to think it through. I mean, to Monday morning quarterback this and say, oh, we know that there's a bunch of Romanians running around hiding and, sneaking stuff onto the checkout counter.
And they see it on video.
But they only saw it after the fact. It's not like they were sitting up in the glass tower looking down going, wow, she just stuck another one. Look, she put another one on there, So I don't see any real culpability in the transaction itself.
Except for she asked for 2 separate transactions.
I know.
That part still seems way out there. That seems so weird to me.
That's weird because, I mean, why would Walmart say no to that?
They wouldn't.
Period.
That's my whole point.
Unless you had a cashier that was in on something which, is not outside the realm of possibilities.
No, but if you listen to the whole plot
Walmart
that
seems to
unfolded.
think, I just don't think that's the case.
What Walmart was it again, Nicole?
In Greeley on 47th.
Hey, Scott, do me a favor. Or Dimitri, which one of you two want to make a phone call over there?
Hey, Nicole, is your friend some sort of an at-risk adult? Is she very elderly or frail, or does she have a?
I mean, I don't know because I don't know her medical, but I think she's starting to get dementia.
Yeah, but how old is she?
She's almost 70.
Okay. Yeah, she's a person at risk, right?
Yeah, that's the definition of an at-risk adult. But Nicole, a gypsy ripped her off. Possibly in cahoots with a Walmart employee.
I wanting to say that word, but I mean, that's exactly what's going on.
It's exactly what's going on. I would like you to make a call over there. Here's what I would like you to do. And this has worked. We've done this on the show before with Walmart. Try to get to the store manager, okay? If you can't get to the store manager, you want the market manager. Don't forget that word, market manager. The market manager will return your call. Make sure they know who you are, where you're coming from, and we're talking $500 from a company. You ready for this? That I believe takes in $1.6 billion every single day. I'm not saying they owe this woman anything, but for $500 and possibly a person at risk, and just the good things I always say about Walmart. Honestly, people know that. So honest to goodness, see if you can get through to someone there, maybe a gift card, maybe just to help her out.
Yeah, I'll give him a call immediately. Nicole, was there a police report filed in this matter?
Oh, good point.
Yes, there was. And the cop, he didn't want to talk to me. He just wanted to talk to my friend. But because that's what I asked Walmart. I said, "Can you guys help her with anything?" Because
well, it's Greeley. The cops aren't going to do anything. I mean, most likely they're going to do zero.
Well, so is that what happened? They did nothing?
Well, no. Walmart said that they couldn't do anything, and I said, "Well, then that's fine. Can I get some report number from you guys so I can email?"
Did you get the report number or not?
No, I don't.
Okay,
but
hold on. Dimitri, grab her info offline. Let's go make a call and see what we can figure out.
I'll start calling as soon as Kelly sends me Nicole's phone number.
All right. Hey, Kelly, can you hear me now? Did we try to reach out to that cement concrete guy?
Yeah, I don't.
Yep. And what did Kevin have to say? Yeah.
Thank you so much. And track me down.
He's busy all week, so he can't talk to us. Talk about, can you imagine, okay, let's say you go out on a first date.
You know he's a professional, Mark.
He's a mister. He's a mister, as you put it.
The guy's got 2 phone numbers and a mister in front of his name.
And a mister on his postcard that he sends out. Come on. Imagine going on a first date. Listen,
that's
once
why
again,
you have to list both.
If you go out on a damn first date and you call up for the second, and they're busy every single day until Friday, that's the blow off. This guy's blowing us off, in my opinion. And I'm going to try to call him during the break and try to coerce him to coming on the air.
It's like, how much concrete can you do on a day like today, right?
They can pour, as long as it's
30 degrees.
I don't know. I guess I don't know.
There's a long
dude. He's got 2 phone numbers.
Gypsies in the Denver area.
Oh God, they're all over the place, and they use these little kids as props at the intersections. And by the way, I used to live in Russia. The gypsies are universally hated.
No, they're real.
Yeah, they're for real, dude. And these are the same people I see here. They even have the same physical characteristics. Yeah. They're absolutely
There's
gypsies.
A detective on the Denver police force that's all the hell he does is gypsy related.
Really?
Oh fuck, they can use 10 more like
you know. And
10 more.
I don't think he does a whole lot because it's just it's all at-risk adults. It's all like home health nurses and all this crazy shit that just it's terrible. I had a guy one time back when I did defense work that I got this guy called me one day to see if I would take on this case.
Soft treatments and much, much more. Shades, room darkeners, shutters. What am I talking about? Awnings. You get the idea. I'm talking about window coverings. You want simply the best company. They're going to come out. They're going to measure. They're going to do all the installation. And here's what I love about these guys. Not only will they help you pick out the right product for your house, the right colors, but they do all the work, and they do it for less. Yeah, you heard me, less than what those people that make you do all your own measurements in your own installation. Don't get ripped off in the shade business. You want the best out there, you go to denvershades.co. That's denvershades.co. One more time, check them out. Great deals going on right now. denvershades.co.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, I get this call from this dude in Miami who basically introduced himself as the consigliere.
Are you kidding?
Of
You're making that up
basically.
just because I can't see.
So he was
straight or
trying to
sleep.
hire me
Really?
to represent this guy that was in jail for trying to steal this guy's fortune and stuff. But it was scary.
You
It's
say
an organized
2:30
crime
tomorrow,
system.
right?
No two ways about it. This isn't just little islands.
Done. Thank you so much.
people.
Cut it out.
This is a whole
I hope you have a tip jar
nationwide
on your desk when you
organization
get
of just crooks that
All right,
they've
well,
never seen a scam. They
hit me
didn't
with
know.
your digits and I'll Venmo you. Cut it out, Robbie. Thank you so
I
much.
went and saw that because he didn't pay me.
Oh.
The magic words.
I cried enough and I get an appointment tomorrow.
No, I was smart enough to not do anything until I got paid. And when the
Kelly, can you put that Mize
didn't
number up
come.
for Kevin's, please?
In criminal cases, we can do something called a special appearance, which means we may go to court and appear like one time enough to meet with the
At
client
least I
and
was a
figure out
little
what the
quiet
hell's going
sitting
on.
here giving my
But I won't
birthday
enter the
Social
case until
Security
I
number
got
because
formally
I now
retained, you
realize
know.
we were accidentally
This has been a long time. I don't do criminal cases anymore. But
it was-
at the time, I
Tom
kind
Mark
of
was
knew
yelling.
that something wasn't right, and so I did a special
That's pretty
appearance.
good, huh?
I've only done that like twice, you know. But that time, when the money didn't show up, I was like, we're out, you know.
And then they never called again.
Never called again. Don't know what happened to the lady. Don't care.
Did you notice my use of the term gypped?
That's right.
Exactly. Saw that.
Hey, Kevin, Marc Mager with the Tom Martino Show. Man, we'd really love for you to come on the air and give your side of the story on this. This guy's saying you did a horrible job. I don't think you did, but I'd love to hear your side to the story. Would you agree to that, please? All right, hold on. I'm going to have Kelly call you back right now and get you lined up. Hold on, okay? We're going to call up. I want to hear your side of the story. What? Friday, come on, man. Friday's a long time. I've got this guy on the air now. That's like 4 days away or something.
All my listeners want to hear from you.
Everybody wants to hear. I mean, we talked about the name of the company and everything. Really, you should say your side of the story. If you're going to fix it, just say it. If you're not going to fix it, say it. You're so busy, huh? Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Prick.
A lifetime of...
Hey, man.
I thought I had him hooked for a second.
I did too.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. His English is, he's Mr. My.
Yeah, so you didn't pay the proper respect, okay?
I called him Kevin.
Yeah, you did.
Let me tell you, he does not sound like a Kevin. Just I'm putting that out there.
You kind of diss the guy starting out by not calling him his proper name and stuff, you know?
Maybe I called the wrong number, too. Should I call him back on his other number now?
Right.
I trust him not, okay? I would love, who wants to bet me whether he comes on Friday? Anybody? Any takers at all?
No, not on this one. He's not coming on.
No, he's not coming on.
Okay, well, that makes more sense. So, fucking Governor Hochul, right? The raging douche nozzle from New York, right? So she was speaking yesterday at a thing. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it does show Monday.
How do you pronounce that?
And they took clips of her talking about
Maeve.
The shooter being
like
found.
beige, but completely different.
Pennsylvania, right? Yeah.
I don't like that.
And there was all these people holding signs behind her that said, "Show me the money." I'm like, what the fuck is she doing that she
screwed up?
Turns out it was some sort of inflation refund investment payment crap.
Maybe.
It was a pressure that she had.
It's Italian. It's Maeve.
Clips from it for Luigi. And I'm like, show me the money.
Watch it be something like Sally.
It's pronounced Margaret.
Well, not entirely her fault. Okay, I get it.
Dude, we had to pass on that RV too.
No, what was wrong with it?
Nothing. My neighbor's actually has got a better deal and a better one. It's a
up for sale.
21 S6.
Nice.
$4,700.
That's what we got. It's not a 21, but Essex rock, man. All right, 303-713-8255. I called up Kevin or Mr. My. I mean, this guy's going by too many names at this point. He's got multiple phone numbers on his advertisement. This whole thing spells trouble. He said he'd come on Friday. He would come on Friday. I tried to bet everybody in the studio. Yeah, he's so busy now, it's crazy. So he can't talk at night. He can't talk till Friday. I don't like it.
There's also a very large language barrier, just to let you know.
It wasn't that.
No,
well,
come on.
His name is definitely not Kevin. I think it's Mr. My for sure, but I don't know. I'm going either way on this one. What do you guys think? Kelly, let me ask you. Should I ask our callers to maybe call him up and ask if he's going to fix it? Because I attempted to ask him that. I said, just say what you're going to do. He didn't want to say anything.
Well, let's see if he and Matthew can come back on Friday and reschedule, and I can try to get them back on the show. And then if that doesn't work, then absolutely we can go to another
okay, we'll light him up. I hate this because I know. In fact, I'm going to put a poll up on the next break for our YouTubers to see if they think this guy's coming on Friday. I'll take some bets. I know one guy, I think his name's Dave H. on YouTube. By the way, if you watch on YouTube, you can see us during the show. Not only that, you can hear us during the breaks talk when the commercials, we try to somewhat mute the commercials and you can listen. But I'm going to put a poll up. I'm curious what people think. I say the guy's not coming on. John Fuller, is the guy coming on or not? What do you think?
He's honest and experienced, Mark. Come on.
Shush it. All right, who are we going to now? Maeve. I'm going to guess how to pronounce that. How do you pronounce your name?
Maeve.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Maeve.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm glad you responded to my email. What I want to tell you about, not to go into a deep drama, I'm very unhappy with the garage door opener company that I just dealt with, and I wanted you to tell me who is the best garage door opener company I live in Boulder, so it could be Boulder, Denver, that are reliable. And
what do you need done? Do you need a new door or an opener? What do you need done?
The opener. When it freezes cold, it doesn't open, and I have to go to work, and I can't get my car out of it.
Well, I don't know. So what happened with the company that came out?
Okay, I contacted them 3.5 years ago because I was having the same problem.
Yeah.
From an older garage door opener.
Sure.
And they installed a new one and put a LiftMaster in there, which is supposed to last 10, 15 years. And I said, well, this will never freeze when it was cold. And he said, no, because it's Wi-Fi connected. And I was very gullible and thought, everything's solved.
Yeah, big deal. I mean, who cares if it's Wi-Fi? If it freezes, it freezes. That means it doesn't have enough torque to break through some kind of icing that happens somewhere.
Yeah, is your door freezing up or what?
Something's really odd.
It's that little opener on the outside that you punch in a code.
Oh, the buttons aren't working.
Unit. Yes, exactly.
Oh, well, okay, let me ask you.
Everybody else, I have a condo, beautiful mountain view here in Boulder.
So you can replace, okay, hold on. You can replace just that part. You know that, right?
I wanted them to take care of it.
So what did they say when they came out?
Okay, they came out and he looked around. This person, I did not feel like he had knowledge. He looked around. They didn't charge me anything because I was already their customer. He looked around and he said, well, I think the problem is just because you have an LED light up there. And I said, what does that have to do with it getting cold?
It doesn't have any heat. No, that's true. Listen, I don't know. Listen, please, listen. I want to help you out. That could be very valid. I don't know how close that bulb is, but I'm going to tell you something. Where I live now and they put up the LED traffic signs, when it gets really cold and blowing snow, you can't see anything. You can't see the green, the red, the yellow because there's no heat forming. But you can buy a better punch key on Amazon for next to nothing, or better yet, a little keychain, key fob that'll open that door.
Cool. Can you recommend a good garage door company that would help me have something that won't freeze up and I can get into my garage so I can go to work?
God, I don't think you need a garage door company is what's driving me nuts about this.
I just wish I knew what you mean by freezing up. Like
she's saying the pad itself.
The keypad doesn't work
you
because
hit the
it gets
buttons and it doesn't work, right?
Or, I mean, do you have an opener in your car?
No, I don't.
Why?
But when I do that, when I hit the keypad, it blinks and nothing happens when it's too cold, and I can't get into the car, and I can't go to work, and I'm a nurse. That's not a good thing.
No, that's not good at all.
Personally, the light I was talking about, the LED. He walked into the garage. The LiftMaster's up on the ceiling in the garage, and it's a light upstairs. It's not even close to the outside unit.
Okay, well that has nothing to do with your garage unit not working. So I'm just curious why you have just a key punch thing on the outside of your garage and you don't have a remote in your car. You don't have something on the wall in the house. I mean, why not?
Honestly, the reason is because I lost that a long time ago.
Okay, that's super easy to replace.
So I'm gonna give you a number to somebody that we like. It's oneclearchoicedoors.com. Okay.
Oh yes, please.
Those guys go from Boulder all the way to the Springs, maybe even Pueblo. 303-565-6409. Now, if that door opener, I'll give it to you again in a second, but I really want you to listen to this. If that garage door opener is only 3 years old, like you said, and it's a LiftMaster, there's going to be a single button on it. You might need a ladder or a step stool to reach it. But if you listen to me, you go onto Amazon, you can buy a keychain fob I'm staring at for $10. All you have to do is hit the button on the garage, the Smart Learn, and then click the button on the fob, and you train it. And the thing is so small, it goes on your keychain, and you could do that. And that's going to cost you $10. Then you have that. So that might be what you want to do. But, you know, it's up to you. If you want to call a garage door company, you can do that as well.
Okay. I'll have a friend of mine help out with that because I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's going to be the best way, the cheapest way. And then you have a remote again. I mean, then you have remote again. You can also on Amazon buy the keypad. The keypad's $22 for a new one, a brand new one that'll connect up to what you have. It's only 2 screws and it takes batteries. And, you know, it might. Yeah, so there's different options there. But if you know someone that can help you out, the programming, if it's only 3 years old, is very easy.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was so helpful. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. What do you think she's going to do, John, Scott? I'm just curious.
She's going to call the garage company.
Yeah, you know.
And pay a couple $100 for a $10 item.
Yeah, well, that's what people do.
That's what makes the world go round.
That's what people do. One line open, 303-713-8255. I cut you off, Scott. What were you saying? What do you think she's going to do? Yeah, no, go on. We're on air. Go.
Oh, I think she's going to call
the garage door company.
The garage door company. I was thinking we do have a locksmith in Boulder.
It's still over $100. Yeah. Just for the call out. But yeah, I mean, that might be a better way for here. Those key fobs, seriously, they're dirt cheap on Amazon. I mean, dirt cheap. And they're universal. They work with almost anything out there.
Right.
All right, Pam's got a problem with the roof in a townhouse. Then we've got 2 questions on car insurance. One might be a comment. And then, Liz, you're going to be up next. She's got a problem with car insurance. Hold tight.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
You know, side streets are still pretty tricky in a lot of areas, especially out of Lakewood, parts of Littleton, Wheat Ridge, and even in Highlands Ranch. A lot of ice and snow from overnight snow, certainly. We've got a couple of problems. Southbound 25 at 23rd approaching Colfax, right lane crash. It's backed up almost to I-70. We've got an accident also, or make that a stall, eastbound 70, just past Pecos. That's in the right lane, but it's backed up all the way to Federal. 225 looks much better for us. Got a little bit of traffic coming in and out of the Denver Tech Center. That's a look at your drive.
What can we learn from the 2024 election? This week on Red Pilled America, we tell the story of how Donald Trump won the race for the White House. Again, listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
I love these guys. You ready for this? Retirement Center Planning of the Rockies. These guys can help you out. It's a family approach, and that's what I like about it more than anything. They're just not going to tell you what you should invest in or try to sell you different products. What they're going to do is sit down and talk about that income you're expecting when you finally pull the trigger and go into retirement. They're going to talk about the different investments, of course. They want you to be safe and secure as you get older. They're going to talk about the health care. They're going to talk about tax ramifications. And then, of course, the legacy. You know, these guys are more than just managing your investments. They help you go from that working self to that retirement self, and man, are they good at it. They actually have a cool seminar coming up in February if you want to save the date. It's going to be February 8th at 6 p.m., and it's going to be at the Marriott Denver Thornton. And, you know, you can call up. I'll give you the number in a second and get registered now, or ask them any questions about retirement. They're great people to talk to. If you haven't sat down and talked to someone about retirement, I highly suggest these guys. Check them out at rpcenter.com. That's rpcenter.com. You ever think about investing in property? Well, these guys at Vestera have done something incredible. They know how to find undervalued properties across the country. They'll find little pockets of properties that are undervalued for the town or the community. They'll purchase it. You will actually get the deed to the property. You own the property. They're going to rehab it if needed at a great price. They're going to manage it, rent it out, and then when you want to sell it and take the profits, you can do it. But in the meantime, you're going to be making money just sitting there because they manage it. They find the proper tenants. They make sure everything's going good. They allow you with zero experience to invest in real estate. They have made some people 50 to 100% profits. You got to call these guys. 303-888-3788. 303-888-3788.
Winter is upon us, which means shorter days.
That's where Fitness Gallery has come in. I'm in Chicago. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know, Shannon, I didn't know we actually had a, what does TSC stand for? Dominic said call someone at TSC and they can install it remotely. I have no idea what that means. I mean, I know what it means. I didn't know we had that, though.
What the heck? What?
So I asked Dominic if he could do something for me, which is install Contributor on a different laptop like he did last time. And he says, I'm in Chicago. I'm not back till Monday. He says, call the TSC helpline, and they can do it remotely. That's badass. I didn't know that.
Really? Wow. I'd like that, too.
What does TSC stand for?
Probably transsexual something.
Oh, shut up.
What?
Jeez.
Technical Service Center.
Oh, good one, Scott.
Oh.
This from a guy that counted sheep for a living. Did you know that's what he did for a living? He counted sheep. He'd go into slaughterhouses, literally all over the country, and count how many heads they were reporting compared to how many heads they had. Or no heads at that point, right? You don't eat the sheep head, right?
Right.
Bad. Did it smell in there?
Oh, yeah.
Like really bad.
Bad.
Sheep stink.
God. Yuckies.
It's bad.
What do you think's worse, pigs or sheep?
Sheep.
Yeah, probably.
I never went to a pig farm.
The fur probably holds a lot of the odor.
I don't know.
That's why you should shave.
That's a whole different commodity. Those short leggers, you know.
Is that what you would call pigs, short leggers?
Yeah.
What was some of the names for sheep? Sheep.
Sheep, I think. Yeah. You.
What else would you want to count? What else did they count? They counted pigs, cows.
Cows,
How about
soybeans,
horses? Only stuff you ate,
almonds.
Right? Almonds?
Yeah, I mean, there's
what do you mean almonds?
25 commodities that have these boards.
I got you. I understand.
To promote the brand,
So I assume the almonds, they counted the trees, not
maybe
the actual
they did it by the
bones.
pound.
Oh, by the pound. That makes sense.
Right. I mean, dairy goes by gallons, you know.
We got a listener going to Metallica with us in May. That'll be interesting.
That doesn't sound dangerous at all.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. But I'll be with. They seem cool. Suzanne did a little recon on them. I let her decide. I was like, I don't know.
All right, just seconds here.
Talk station 630 KHAL.
All right, 303-713-8255. One line open. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. We got the big break coming up, I promise. Liz, you're up first, followed by Margaret. Pam's got a problem with the townhouse. One line open. Any questions for John Fuller, attorney at law as well? He is the auto accident guru. He knows it all. John, real quick before we go to break, how quick should someone call an attorney? Like a couple days, within 2 days? If not immediately?
Yeah, the sooner the better. I mean, the day of the accident, before you really make any decisions about setting up claims, getting medical care, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, if it's an emergency, go to the hospital. But after that, call me.
All right, 303-713-8255. We'll be right back.
Messages for both the store manager and the market manager. Cool. One of them will be back at noon.
Hey, do you have some water in your fridge in the office in there or something?
Yeah, I think I saw a brand new.
I was supposed to tell you to get a water for folks.
Oh.
Who wants some coffee on at the machine?
Okay.
I'm good.
Ask you to get a water for Philip.
Okay, he got it. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. That was my fault that I didn't pass that on.
Good morning. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. Yeah, so Matthew, I ended up talking to Kevin, and he was on a job. He said, I mean, there's a little bit of a language barrier.
Frosty the Snowman is the most dangerous song to listen to
probably be
while
available
driving.
On Friday, so I'm going to try
Now,
to get you
if
guys
that
back on Friday.
Isn't crazy. Chipmunk song ranked the worst Christmas song. I actually like
I
Alvin
don't know.
and the Chipmunks.
All I can do is try.
I did like them. Didn't you like them as a kid?
Okay,
Did you watch
no problem.
the show?
Thanks for calling.
Or were you too cool for that? Do you remember learning on Saturday morning how a bill becomes a law?
I'm just a bill.
Is that what started your law school career? It's where it all began.
How did Adeline's finals go?
I'm sure they went fine. I heard nothing.
Heard nothing. Must have been okay.
Must have been okay. She just loves her new boyfriend, so she is looking forward to get out of Dodge here for break. I'm starting to like him. You know, it's hard for me, man, because usually I don't like him. But he's good. He's a young attorney. He had a job lined up coming right out of school. I can't think of anything I don't like. He was in the military, like that. Paid for all of his college with the GI Bill, like that. I mean, it's like, I'm looking for something. I'm looking.
Oh, jeez, I've been through this, man.
Yeah, you sure have. How old's your daughter?
She is 28.
Yeah, okay.
9 years old this year.
That's not much. That's not much in front.
No, but it's she's out. She got her master's. She's out. She's working. She's married.
Yeah.
But she went through the whole assortment of boyfriends that I thought were just complete losers.
Oh. Some of them are. Some of them you can't believe they bring home. You just go, what the fuck?
They came up to the lake one time. We made that boy sleep in a separate tent. I mean,
outside.
Yeah, outside in the gravel.
That's yours.
That's right. Maggie's like, we got to sleep. No, nothing. You're sleeping in the house.
We had.
Just an assortment of them, and some of them really turned out to be losers. Some of them went on to be relatively productive humans, but not in my family. But the kid that she ultimately married is just a good.
You liked him.
Just a good guy, good family. Just couldn't be any more critical. I feel sorry for him, marrying my daughter, because she, I think she wears pants in that family. But other than that, he's a good dude and a good family, so no complaints.
I got Suzanne so mad one time. I met this kid. She brings this kid home. And I'm talking to both of them. It's the four of us, so we're in the kitchen. And I'm listening to this kid talk. And it hit me like just a bag of rocks, man. And I said it out loud, and I probably shouldn't have. I said, I just realized you're just a speed bump in her life. Like you're going to be gone any second. Suzanne instantly went into the bedroom. She was fucking pissed. Addie, she knows her dad. I mean, it was probably a little more than she ever expected, but, and the way he recovered after hearing that, The kid had no balls. I mean, the way he said, he didn't stick up for himself. He didn't say shit. So what do you think happened a week later?
Gone.
He was gone,
Yeah.
Jack.
And he said, I'm not bringing him home again.
Well, what happened was, okay, you want to know? Okay, first of all, it definitely had something to do with what I picked up. He was lazy. I don't know how else to put
I
it.
don't think the word speed bump came up.
He rented. You ready for this? Not rented. He went on vacation before he met her, like a year ago, and he couldn't afford to go with his friends on vacation. So he took a loan out, a high like 29% loan, which I've never heard of, to go on vacation. So when Addie found out that he owed like $4,000 to go on vacation that he couldn't afford,
right,
she couldn't believe it. I've literally never heard of that, taking a loan out to go on vacation. I'm sure it's happened, but I
You know
just
how
never...
many different ways I could use the word speed bump in a sentence that had to do with your daughter. I'd still be... you had probably gotten a gun and run me off by the time I got close to running out of things to say. It would have been bad.
Yeah, he had no recovery at all. Zero. Just he wanted to move on very quickly.
Quickly leave.
Right.
Where was that front door? Front door or back? You know, which one do you prefer, sir? You know.
Suzanne was pretty pissed.
I can only imagine.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I like these headphones because they're big enough for my ear, without
uncomfortable headphones.
You know,
suck,
and they're like cooling pads around them, so you don't sweat like you do in those audio box. You know.
I've used this same brand forever.
Yeah.
They've got like 3 or 4 that look identical, but different quality. These are the cheapest ones. I like these.
Yeah.
It's like $40, $50, whatever they are.
I have a pair of those. But I lost one of my pairs. I lost in the hurricane in Florida. It was in a bin on the floor, and it got flooded and soaked and stuff. So I was like, I get to buy new stuff. So
there you go.
I think I shall pick these. Click.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Our goal in life is to make your life a little bit better. You've been ripped off. Maybe you've been taken advantage of. Maybe you just want to expose some sleazebag out there that took money, didn't finish the job, didn't even show up and start the job. Those are the worst guys out there. And by the way, talking about the worst of the worst, you ready? Go to sleazebrigade.com. These guys are the bad guys. Like Don Eiley, he took over $10 million from small businesses by filing phony tax reports to the IRS for their employees. Over $10 million. He put a lot of companies into bankruptcy. A lot of people don't know this. You got a bad accountant, and you're left holding the bag. These people thought they were paying the money. He would phony up reports. John, this guy was, in a way, brilliant. Yeah. I had no idea how bad the IRS was.
I remember.
It calculating. He would phony up reports and give them to you saying, okay, for your 10 employees, we sent whatever, $10,000 to the IRS for your payroll taxes. Then what he would do with the IRS, he would send zeros. He would say you didn't have any employees. Right. But the remarkable part about what Don Eiley got away with shows how bad the IRS is. And this is what I mean. At the end of the year, if you work for somebody, what do you get? Get a W-9. These people would actually get a phony W-9 showing they paid $100,000, even though zero was paid on their behalf. And guess what? They would actually get refunds.
Get refunds. Yep.
How the hell does that happen? I mean, it's really remarkable.
Yeah, I've actually seen that before. I worked for a guy at one point that was a little he didn't
crooked.
He didn't pay a lot of his taxes on time. The IRS would regularly walk in the front door and mosey back to his office to have a little chat. And and I recall that one of the things that he didn't pay was a lot of the withholding taxes. And all the employees filed regular returns, and it was just as if they had paid. The IRS gave them credit for it, just as if they had actually paid. So they don't double victimize, the actual victims, and then they go after the person that didn't pay.
So what happens ultimately with Don Eiley's victims is it was the businesses. The IRS did not go after the individuals because they're like, that's impossible. I mean, it really is. How would they ever know in a million years? Imagine if you worked, an extreme example, you work for King Soopers and find out for the last 5 years they've paid nothing. Well, there's nothing you're going to do about it.
But they did go after the businesses.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
A lot of them literally are still paying now, or they ended up going bankrupt, but you know what that means.
They can't get rid of the taxes.
You still have to pay what they call the trust fund portion. You can't, even if a business goes bankrupt, you still have to pay the trust fund portion.
Right.
So Uncle Sam gets his pound of flesh no matter what. But that is what sleazbrigade.com is all about. By the way, one line open, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, the real estate man. How I love thee. Frank Duran made us so much money when we sold our house in Castle Rock. He listed it for less than I thought he should list it for. But it was nothing but a trick. Yeah, he tricked everybody. Then he got this bidding war going, and I ended up making more on that house than I ever imagined. Then he helped me negotiate the new house we were buying in Franktown, almost saved me $100,000 on it. Frank's the best out there. You want the best, he's the nicest guy. He's a great man. FrankDuranHomes.com. FrankDuranHomes.com. Now, let's hop back to the phones. One line open, 303-MARTINO. You can always email us at help@troubleshooter.com. John Fuller in, Deputy Dimitri, Deputy Scott, they're all in here today. So if you've been ripped off, now's a good day. By the way, before I hit the phones, did you end up calling Walmart? We had this woman call up. I got to recap it real quick. First call of the day, it was crazy. Her friend, who is a 70-year-old woman, was in Walmart. This, what do we want to call her? What did we call her last hour? What? No, not the at-risk adult, the gypsy. I was going to let somebody else say it, but you know what? Who cares? They are gypsies. This gypsy walked up, apparently from Romania, according to the caller, and what happened was, said, hey, can you help me out? I just need to buy this formula for my baby, and she had 3 cans of formula, and she goes up, and the woman was buying her own groceries. Walmart watched the video, according to the caller, and what they saw in the video was this gypsy dropping different gift cards and dropping Claritin and dropping different things into her cart when she wasn't looking. So when she paid for her groceries, she was also not only paying for the baby formula, but another $570 worth of stuff she wasn't purchasing. So Deputy Dimitri, he called up Walmart. You asked for the store manager. If the store manager wasn't there, I told you, get the market manager. Where are we at on this one?
Yeah, I called them both. The store manager is out today, but I left him a voicemail along with the reason why I called. And then they also did refer me to their market manager, as you suggested. He'll be back at noon.
Nice.
He's got my name, phone number, the reason for my call. So
I think the market manager will reach back out to you. They're pretty good.
Yeah, so I'll update this the moment I speak with that
How
guy.
much do you think a market manager, I just want to ask you guys something. How much do you think an average Walmart market manager is over as far as dollars? I'm not talking salary. Let's say the average, I'm not even going to make you guess because it's so absurd. You got to figure $150 million per store and somewhere between 10 and 20 stores.
So
that man generates some money.
He does, and he gets well paid. I mean, a typical Walmart manager, the GM gets paid about $200,000.
With bonus now, some of them at complex stores. A complex store example is Aurora. A complex store, that store manager, if he hits all his bonuses, can easily make over $500,000. I know. They started that about less than a year ago. Yeah, they started to incentivize it. But if you think of that complex store, that guy's probably pulling down $200 million a year
He
in
probably
sales.
works. He probably works every day for 12 hours a day.
Well,
or
close.
she. Yeah.
It's very possible. All right, 303-713-8255. Now, I digress. We're going to Margaret. You're next on the list, followed by Liz. Margaret, what is your question about car insurance or your comment?
So my comment is I'm just calling to give advice to the listeners, Mark.
Sure.
My son he was not in a car accident, but he was in a restaurant eating and had parked his car out at the end of a street. And a woman came around the corner and ran into his car and pushed it into the car in front of him. And that was while he was eating. And so he came out an hour later and, it ended up that he had nothing to do with it. Luckily, this gal had insurance, but the insurance company didn't get back to him until this morning. And so he had been calling and they kept saying, well, that person's not in the office today. They'll get back to you, on Monday.
What insurance company was it, Margaret?
USAA.
So the person in USAA hit your son's car that in return hit the car in front of him where he was parked.
No. That's just the insurance company that the woman driving the car that hit my son's car.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get paid. So what's your advice?
So USAA got back to me and said, oh, there's going to be a delay. Why don't you just go ahead and contact your insurance company and it'll make everything go faster.
Well, the problem with that is, here's the issue. You end up paying the deductible, which generally isn't a bad thing because you will usually get that recouped, right, John?
Yeah, when you file a claim for an event that you were not at fault for and another insurance company ends up accepting liability, the very first dollar that they pay out on that is used to reimburse you for your deductible.
So, John, I have an insurance broker, and he advised us to refuse putting the claim into our insurance company to keep our rates from going up.
Okay, so let me just address one thing that really needs to be cleared up. Your insurance broker does not represent your insurance company. They are a salesperson, okay? They don't know one thing about claims administration or rate adjustments or anything else. If you're not at fault for an accident, we were talking about this earlier, there is a law in Colorado that says there's two instances where they cannot raise your rates, following an accident. One is when you're not at fault, okay? And then the second part of that is when you use a coverage that's mandatory like MedPay or something like that, or even uninsured motorists that requires as a prerequisite for use that somebody else be at fault. Those two instances, you can't be penalized by the cancellation of your policy.
Why do you think, John, and we hear this all the time, it doesn't matter, we hear it all the time, exactly what she's saying. Why do you think an agent would actually spread that bad information? I don't think the agent is necessarily lying. I would guess they just have no clue.
They have no clue.
Okay.
They truly don't,
Okay,
and
so
people believe.
I just have to let you know, as soon as my son called and refused to contact our insurance, they immediately jumped on it, and now they're going to look at his car tomorrow.
Well, I mean,
that's good.
That's great, but that doesn't
It's really
negate
great.
anything
I'm
that
glad we refused.
Well, good for you.
Margaret, you're not really listening though. Just understand in the future, the insurance companies, at least in the state of Colorado, is that everywhere, John?
Yeah, no, it's certainly in the state of Colorado. Listen, there are types of insurance that you buy that cover you in exactly this circumstance.
And they can't up your rates when you use them.
Yeah, why in the world would you be penalized by using what they sold you that provides coverage for this event? That's
well,
crazy.
I mean, they weren't gonna offer to get him a rental car, until they went and checked out the car and everything. And so they were saying, put it into your own insurance,
Okay.
and then they can cover it, and then get the cost back.
That's an easy way to buy time, and it frees they're insured up to drag their feet and everything else. But listen, you didn't really get one over on them. I'm glad they took that position. But in the end, they would have paid that claim, and they would have paid your insurance company back for every penny that they paid out to fix your vehicle, and they would have paid your son back for his deductible.
And it wouldn't have penalized you at all, because look at it this way. They got all their money back. They just simply gave you the money because they're your insurance company to go out and get a new car or get it fixed, get a rental car, whatever the coverage is. But they literally, in this case, would have gotten every single dollar back, Margaret, from the other company.
All you did was just, mess with the timeline and stuff, but you didn't force them to pay for something they weren't already going to be paying for just at some point down the road.
Thanks, Margaret. 303-713-8255. We're going to have 2 lines open in a second. I'm going to come back for Liz and then Pam, and then your call will be after that. 303 Martino.
Hi, it's Dave Logan. Between now and December 31st, Dan Capless Law will match all donations to Catholic Charities of Denver, up to $100,000 total. If you would like to help women, children, and seniors in need, go to ccdenver.org/Capless match and double the impact of your contribution today.
Fix It 24/7. I'm going to tell you about these guys. You ready for this? $39. Go to fixmyhome.com. They're going to come out. They're going to tear apart that furnace. And I mean clean it. They're going to get rid of all the dirt. And by the way, the dirt is the #1 killer. They can actually sit there for up to 2 hours getting it clean for $39. It prevents breakdown. It's going to increase the efficiency of it. Go to fixmyhome.com. It's for new customers only. They want to get in there and show you how great they are and what a great deal they'll give you. $39. Go to fixmyhome.com. Now, let's talk about Red Rock Solar. I always say it, Brooke knows how to find the money. If you have a commercial property, she can get 95 to 100% of your solar project paid for. Maybe you have a quadplex or a duplex. If it's a commercial property, you can put solar on there with the help of Red Rock Solar and Brooke with 95 to 100% of it paid for. And I'm not kidding. She knows how to find the grant money. Give her a call. Go to Red Rocks RS, as in roofandsolar.com, redrocksrs.com.
No, the screen on the camera is working.
It is. I don't know what Tom's got going then.
Oh, you think it was something on his side?
It's always something on his side.
I thought he was out today.
Yeah, I was. So here's where we were today. I brought my laptop in. I was going to get it ready, and we were just going to stream from there. I get a text from him saying he's got everything fixed. You'll be able to do it. And now you're telling me it's not working. So it's just like.
I know.
But he didn't touch anything. That I can guarantee.
No, the camera's still on.
Oh, it is?
Oh, yeah.
The
No,
phone
it's
is still
working fine.
Wow. Look at the back screen. You can see.
It's not going to be that, yeah. So we got basically 100 people watching a blank screen.
Try to get your insurance agent to approve your claim.
Now, people are. Oh my God! Hey, people can ask them on YouTube. Whoever's on YouTube, can they still at least hear us? I mean, I don't know if is it totally dead. You can hear us on YouTube, but you can't see us.
Thank God.
It's not the camera.
No,
Black screens matter. I just logged into YouTube.
Oh, right.
the black screen of death. Mark, how safe is it for me or anybody else to access other people's Wi-Fi networks, like at Tom's house or here? Really, it's not much risk to.
No, as long as if really everything's encrypted, even on just Google and shit. I mean. The worst thing you can ever do, period, is let someone in your email. You accidentally get hooked and fished into giving a password out. I mean, that's trouble.
see his contract I signed yesterday?
Luigi. Isn't he the guy from the video game?
Oh, you're right. Yes. Mario Brothers?
Mario Brothers. Luigi. His parents are apparently loaded. I don't see an attorney coming out.
Yeah.
Did you pod me down again?
Oh, they have
Yes,
a whole
definitely.
lot of folks there.
Well, it's during the break. I didn't want to hear it.
We wanted to hear it. What was it? Share. Share.
I potted down her headphones.
Oh. Did they ever fix that jack for you, Kelly?
Not yet. Dom's been out, so it's still blown, but he says he has a workaround.
Did you get those pictures?
Yeah, I forwarded them to Curtis. I spoke with him.
Cool.
So he's going to take a look at those, and then once he does, we can call him, and he'll come on the air and give us his expert opinion.
He's coming out and expanding my driveway.
Is he experienced and trustworthy?
Does he have two
He
phone
goes by
numbers?
Mr.
Mr. Curtis?
Mister.
I know his only one phone number, so I'm not as impressed.
Must be kind of a newbie to the whole thing, you know.
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Just text Tom. It's just a blank screen.
Okay.
Did you ever
I don't
get
know
your,
if he's at
Radio station.
All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off or taken advantage of. This is the show for you. We've got a full house today. We got Deputy Scott, Deputy D. We got John Fuller, attorney at law. We've got a lot cooking. We were talking over the break. Once again, it's hard to believe that people don't understand certain coverages that you pay for. You do not get punished if you use them. They simply can't. Is that actually a statute in Colorado?
Yes.
So that's it. You understand? You're not allowed to. The insurance company cannot. One of them is MedPay. We talked about that.
Yeah.
And really quick, MedPay is interesting. John told me something or taught me something about MedPay in the state of Colorado. Every state's different, but it's mandatory in Colorado unless you deny it. The way you deny it is you would generally check a box on the policy saying, I don't want this coverage. There's one company out there that John has never seen. Is that still true till this day?
Yep.
Not one. There's one company out there. I'd love if you can guess it. I'm not going to say the answer yet, but there's one company that we assume when they actually print the forms, they already check the box saying you do not want MedPay coverage. Guess what that company is? I'd love to hear from you. Guess what that company is, and maybe you'll win a prize. Now, listen. Here's what the deal is.
Rhymes with.
No, don't say rhymes with.
Sounds like.
Yeah,
you know.
but here's the funny part. That coverage is pretty cheap, right? MedPay.
Very, very cheap.
And you can use it if you're in an accident, period. You can use it. That's it. You can just use it. You can apply it wherever you want. Pretty much no questions asked.
Yeah, I mean, here's the cool thing about it. It applies no
to
matter
passengers.
It's not fault dependent. So even if you happen to be at fault for an accident, it still kicks in.
Okay, hold on.
It's
Let me
per
get
person.
Tell me if this scenario is correct then.
Okay.
You and I are driving to my house. I slide on ice and I end up in a ditch, and you hit your head on the window and you've got to go to the ER.
Yep.
That was my fault.
Yep.
That accident, but that coverage would cover it.
Yes, absolutely.
MedPay.
You bet.
And then how about if no one was in the car with me?
Still covers it.
It covers me.
It does.
So it covers whatever you want, and it's cheap, and it's mandatory,
And it's
unless if you deny the coverage.
Yeah. So it's and it's per person. So keep in mind, it's you would have, if it's $5,000, you would have 5,000. I would have 5,000. And I always use the example of when I was, earlier. My daughter played volleyball. We would have 6 girls in the back of the thing going to a tournament or something.
If something happened.
I don't know what their coverages are. I don't know what health insurance they have or anything else, but I know that my MedPay will cover each of them up to the amount that I purchase. So, if we go to the ER, I know at least there's some coverage that's gonna be able to help.
Hey, John,
out.
my agent told me something that maybe you can clarify this. He said it doesn't even have to be in an accident. He said I could fall out of the car getting in or out. He said I could be injured while working on my car, and MedPay will cover. Does that sound right?
You're dancing on the line, between coverage and not. I mean, it has to be. And there are definitions in the policy, Dimitri, that will really strictly define when it's going to kick in.
So if
it has to do with your car, pretty likely that it's going to kick in. If you're working on your lawnmower, not so much. Right. Okay.
Well, okay, wait. I like his question. Let me follow up with something that could really happen in Denver. For example, you pull up to a stop sign or something, and maybe you go a little too far into the crosswalk, and one of those scooters runs into you, and the guy on the scooter's hurt. MedPay?
No.
That's going to be liability.
So back in the day when we used to have PIP or personal injury protection or the true no-fault coverage,
like Jersey,
it did cover that pedestrian. If you ran over a pedestrian, your personal injury protection would kick in and help pay that person's medical bills. But they got rid of that when they changed it over to MedPay.
Got it. So, all right, Liz, what's going on with you?
Hi. I co-signed an auto loan with my daughter back in 2020. And this year, 2024, the car was totaled. When I bought the car or co-signed the car, there was a gap insurance policy included on the loan.
Got it.
And I'm finding out now as I try and make a claim, they are saying that the dealership canceled the gap policy in July of 2020.
And why would they have done that? And how do you know they did that? Did you talk to who was the gap coverage through? Like Progressive who?
It's through JM&A Group.
Okay, and they're saying, how long after you purchased the car would that be?
It would have been 4 or 5 months.
Is it possible?
I never canceled this. I never canceled.
Yeah, I understand you didn't. Is it possible, have you spoken to the other person that purchased the car? I think you said it was your daughter.
Yes. Yes, she did not cancel it either. I was in charge of the.
Why would they? I'm trying to understand. When you call the dealership up, what did they say?
Well, I never got a hold of them. They told me to call the financial aid department, or the financial services department at MedVed, and they never returned my call.
Hey, Liz, a couple real basic questions. Do you still have the sales order? Do you have that? I would like to look at that. And then have you matched it up? Let's say the total amount was $50,000 with all the add-ons and sales tax. Let's say the total amount financed or even paid for was X amount. Did that include the gap coverage?
Yes, it did.
Well, why would it? And you never received a refund from the insurance company?
No. Never.
Never refinanced, never did anything else like that.
Hold on, John asked a good question. Did you ever refi?
No, I did. No,
nothing.
No refunds. No, it's always been done through LI Bank. And additionally, another concern I have is that my loan through LI Bank also has auto loan protection on my car insurance policy.
I don't know what that is. What is auto loan protection?
Sounds like Gap. It sounds like another Gap. Is Allied a credit union or is that a bank?
They're a big They're a big lender they specialize in auto loans for both dealer floor plans and consumers.
So here's the thing. I mean, they had to fund that loan. And if they funded the loan based on the buyer's order that showed that premium going out to the Gap Insurance Company, either MedVed is going to have some explaining to do, as they say, or there's a deficit in that deal. I mean, either they paid the premium or they didn't.
Can you send us a copy of that?
Yes, I sure can. I'm looking at it right now.
If it does have Gap on there, I mean, they would have, the only thing I could think, and I don't know why, I guess one thing that could have happened, and I'm not saying it did, but just based on what she's saying, they wanted to make more profit on the car, so they canceled it. I mean, other than that, I'm not sure why the hell they do it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But then they're responsible for it, right?
They are.
If they sneakily canceled your insurance policy, they're taking the risk.
Well, they better figure out why they did it. They better have something in writing. They better have something.
I mean, that's a much bigger thing. It's not just as simple as waving a wand and saying, MedVed, get your checkbook out. But yeah, if they somehow nefariously canceled that policy.
But 5 months later, that's what's weird, too.
That's what doesn't make sense.
When can you send that over?
I can send it right now.
Liz, send it over. I'm going to put you on hold. 303-713-8255. Did she say, was that the MedVed down in Castle Rock? Where is that one? I think they sold it. What MedVed is it?
It was in Wheat Ridge.
Wheat Ridge. All right, hold tight. 303-713-8255. Real quick, Jacob's got a comment on insurance or a comment on my comment.
Yeah, a couple of things, Mark. I wanted to say that I'm pretty sure I know who that is. Would it be Fred Loya?
You just nailed it. Winner, winner. Ding, 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 ding. You just won Tom's
And then
dinger.
another thing I was going to ask you, too, about how you were saying they can't raise your rates if you use, like, MedPay and stuff.
Yeah.
What's to stop them from just raising your rates when you go to renew?
Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, here's the reality.
You can't raise the rates based on that.
They cannot just if they decide to raise your rates, you're entitled to say why. And I promise you it'll never be explained to you that, oh, you used your MedPay. But the statute is very clear. MedPay is a mandatory coverage. They can't make you buy it and then penalize you for using it. It is primary in Colorado. It is supposed to go first. It was designed to help pay the emergency rooms and the first responders that were getting just hosed when they changed the law over about 20 years ago.
But Jacob, to your point, it always goes up. In fact, I don't remember. I think one time during COVID, John, in the middle of COVID, I got a check from Safeco for like $48 saying, no one's driving now, so here's $48.
Here's some history. I had 3 hail claims in 3 Fridays in a row several years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, big ones, and they were all separate claims. They were big claims, and Allstate at the time was my insurance company, and Allstate assured me that we would never raise your rates based on a catastrophic event. We would never do that, Mr. Fuller. That's just not how we roll.
And they didn't.
We would never do that. The following year, my insurance doubled.
That wasn't because of what?
It was not because of those.
It was
those
because
hailstorms.
Everybody in Colorado got nailed.
We just re-rated the area, Mr. Fuller. That's all it was, you know? So, I mean, come on. The reality is they're going to raise your rates no matter what. But they can't do it specifically because you use that mandatory MedPay coverage. So you know what? Use it. Why buy it and use it?
Yeah, that's it. He did win that. So do me a favor, Kelly. Tell Tom he's got to pull his dinger out and go meet up with Jacob somewhere.
I think he should take the helicopter,
That's not a bad idea. Hold tight.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Yeah, looking much better out on the highways. Wet, sloppy ride. Still trying to clear up one crash. Southbound 25 at Colfax. Right side still blocked with a backup there just north of I-70. It's real solid coming into downtown. That's a big delay. Northbound's been affected also coming up from 6th Avenue with just Curiosity. Out of the Tech Center, it looks a little bit better for you. North end I-25. No delays to the airport on Pena. Careful on those side streets. We're still looking at a lot of ice and snow in the neighborhoods and certainly on some of the secondary routes. There's your drive.
Want to save up to 50% on new blinds? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters at prices far less than big box retailers. And right now, save up to 50% off through December 10th during our Cyber Week sale. Blindster.com.
Open enrollment is going on right now. It ends. You ready for this? It ends on January 1st, and that's for coverage up till January 1st. And then you can buy a plan by December 15th for coverage that begins on January 1st. My goodness, there's a lot of twists and turns how open enrollment works. I can tell you this, though, the guys at Integra will help you out big time. There's certain dates you got to get it in. If you're sick and tired of complaining about your health care coverage that you bought through the exchange or even not through the exchange, I want you to call the people at Integra. You might be able to save a lot of money this year. You might be able to get a lot better coverage. They're going to tell you everything. They'll never put you in a policy that's not right for you and your family. You never pay these guys a nickel, and they're always going to do the right thing for you. I have personally used John and the gang at Integra Insurance for over 10 years. Write this number down. Call them right now. These dates are coming up fast. 303-466-5500. Easy as that. 303 466-5500, or you can always check him out at referralist.com.
John, I saw an interview with a founding partner of that firm, so I emailed him a description of my biggest case that I've been saving up.
Here's the dealer.
Next day.
What is your biggest case?
Oh, it's a TCPA case, right, for junk texters under the federal TCPA statute.
Junk testers. What does that mean?
You ever get junk texts on your phone?
From every Republican I've ever known.
Right.
So this is the big federal case that they're filing. Now, I did file one of my own last week against my smallest defendant, so I can kind of test the waters. He's up in Erie. I sued him in Denver. And if I sued him in the wrong jurisdiction, it's up to him to raise that issue in court, right? The judge is not going to do it on his own.
The judge won't do it. He can object to venue.
Right.
You know.
Do you think Gap would only run $850 on a $50,000 plus vehicle?
It might. It may be even less than that.
She bought it. It's there, man.
Well, they got some explaining to do on what happened to it.
Who wants this one?
I'll take it.
It's yours.
Okay.
Go call these guys. Medved,
Make sure you use the word explain.
Explain.
Y'all got some explaining to do.
John, I can't find any definition of minimum contact with the state anywhere. It seems.
What do you mean with the state?
If
you look up, so write this down.
Yeah.
International shoe.
I read it.
That's where it started. Minimum contacts is a thing. It's the minimum contact necessary to avoid, what is the word?
You should have it now, Scott. It's the entire contract.
Okay, good.
It's
so that
crazy.
It doesn't
she bought it.
Now, that international shoe.
Tom Martino Show, how can I help you?
It did.
Through a sales force.
Hi.
I know, but that's where it started.
Yeah.
That's where the everything is based on case law and precedent.
Mm-hmm.
And so we take the holding of that and we apply it to the next case and the next case and the next case. And what they say is that the jurisdiction required contacts sufficient enough to avoid the I forget the language. It's something like let me just get it for you.
So that would be Euro Plumbing. And I can give you the number if you need it. 303 668 6844. Okay, no problem. Thanks.
So they also told me I have a fiduciary responsibility to the class.
Yeah, you do.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, no, it just. I mean, it sounds really responsible.
You can't screw.
Yeah, I can't screw the class.
You can't take a bigger chunk.
Actually, I am going to get a significantly bigger chunk.
Because you brought it?
Because there's a bonus. So I read this lawyer's other cases, and he usually asks for a $15,000 bonus for the class representative. But I can't take like $1 million and then everybody else gets a check for 16 cents.
Yeah.
Like that would be a breach of my fiduciary responsibility.
Big time.
Yeah, so he told me I have to approve the settlement.
Well, we should tell people that have gotten those texts to join the class with you.
Oh, I think they'll do it. I think the lawyer will probably start advertising that. So I'm going to get a free education no matter how this turns out. So
That's for sure.
Because I'm going to get copies of all the correspondence, like the requests for admissions, interrogatories, discovery, and then I'll be able to kind of ape that in my own cases.
You know, we're going to talk about this on the air a little bit, but I'm just amazed that we still have a black screen, but maybe I'm not amazed.
Is Tom at home working on this stuff? Or is he just somewhere else?
I don't know, but he did not touch anything. That's the one thing.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. We have two lines open. you've been ripped off or taken advantage of. Next hour, Deputy Dimitri is actually doing something very interesting. We're going to dive into that, but he's got a class action lawsuit. Basically, you started it, right?
Yeah, I've been researching junk texters and a federal body of law called the TCPA that prohibits such behavior.
And you filed last week in small claims.
That's a different case. That's not the class action. That was a case that I'm prosecuting on my own. So
okay.
I did file a small claims action against one junk texter.
Who was the junk texter?
Oh, I don't think he's been served yet. So
what do they do? Is it political? I don't think you can do that.
No, he was trying to sell me some goods.
Just something.
Yeah,
random.
Totally random. He operates some store that sells some goods that
How
I have
do you
no
think he
interest
got
in.
your number? Just who knows?
We're going to find out. I mean, but because I have a potential claim against whoever supplied him with my name and phone number.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Junk text.
Nuts.
The worst thing I ever did, I donated $100 to Trump, probably 2016. In fact, I was at a Maggiano's restaurant. The waitress was driving me nuts. She heard me talking about Trump to my kids, came over, inserted her big ugly face into the conversation. So I actually left her $50 of my $100 donation to Trump just to make her day. I put that on the receipt. But ever since I made that donation till this day, every Republican known to man has asked me for money. Every single one, Dimitri.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. And those people are exempt from TCPA protections.
I know they are. I know. And it drives me nuts. And as soon as you block a number, what happens? Another one pops up. Yep. I mean, it's crazy. John, you have any comments on that real quick? I mean, it's absolutely nuts. Have you ever donated to something, then you get blown up for the rest of your life? It never stops.
I accidentally did one time, and
same thing.
Yeah, but I got on a really cool mailing list, so I get to see what the other side is doing all the time. So
yeah. Well. All right, 303-713-8255. Pam, what's going on with this townhouse?
Hi, yes. Well, first of all, it is a townhouse, so I share some of my roof with a neighbor.
Got it.
And we had a new roof put on in 2018, and I noticed recently some shingles had raised and nails were hanging. So I called the original installer and had him come out and look, and he says, oh, it's not the installation, it's the shingles have failed. So he contacted the company, the shingle company, and they said yes and gave us each a settlement letter.
Okay.
So I asked the neighbor to wait and not accept the settlement until I talked to the roofer, the original installer, and see if we could get more, because I thought we should have a free roof, not have to pay for a roof.
Oh, wait. I'm curious now. So how much was the settlement? Just give me a dollar amount.
My settlement, hers is a little bit larger roof.
Yeah.
And mine's smaller. Mine was $11,000 some dollars.
So that $11,000, if you get the roof done now, how much would it be?
Well, originally it started out at $18,000 something.
So what's it at now? How much are they willing to do it for?
Well, it's a long story, but the original roofer said he would do it for just under $3,000 out of pocket for me. But we're not using the original roof.
Okay, hold on. I got a few things I want to dig into. Let me do this break, Liz. I promise I'll bring you back up next. We'll get one of our experts on if we need to, but we'll get to the bottom of it. Pam, or I'm sorry, that was Pam. Liz, you hold tight. Now, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we've got a lot cooking. Hold tight right here on the Troubleshooter Network.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Yeah, looking much better out on the highways. Wet, sloppy ride. Still trying to clear up one crash southbound 25 at Colfax. Right side still blocked with a backup there just north of I-70. It's real solid coming into downtown. That's a big delay. Northbound's been affected also coming up from 6th Avenue with just Curiosity. Out of the Tech Center, looks a little bit better for you. North end I-25. No delays to the airport on Pena. Be careful on those side streets. We're still looking at a lot of ice and snow in the neighborhoods and certainly on some of the secondary routes. There's your drive.
Want to save up to 50% on new blinds? Blinds.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters at prices far less than big box retailers. And right now, save up to 50% off through December 10th during our Cyber Week sale. Blindster.com.
All right, listen to this. 888heating.com. You probably heard my commercials everywhere on this. $45. $45, you'll get the best cleaning out there on your furnace. I've been using Garrett and the gang for so long, so many years. They do the best job you can imagine. Their pricing's great. And then if you ever do need a repair on that AC or furnace, here's what I love about them. They will always give you a price on a repair. Some places, if your furnace is over 10 years old, they just want to sell you a new furnace. Well, that's not right. That's not a fair deal. You want a company that'll give you every option out there. But this $45 deal with the no breakdown guarantee is simply the best. Call these guys up. They're going to spend hours cleaning that furnace. They're going to get all the dirt out of there. It's going to look beautiful when it's done. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to operate great. They're going to give you the no breakdown guarantee, all for $45 to introduce you to their company. Check them out, 888heating.com. You can book it right there. Go on there right now and book it. I promise you, you're going to be calling me up telling me it was the best deal you ever got in home services. 888heating.com. That's 888heating.com. Made in the shade, baby. You know what I love about these guys? If you want a window covering, I don't care if they're shutters, room darkeners, shades, soft treatments, hard treatments. How about awnings? These guys have it all, and I love this. High tech, low tech, no tech. You know what I mean? You got a $4 million house and you want everything automated, top of the line. They got it at the best price. You got a fix and flip, or you got an apartment complex you're trying to redo when people are moving in. They got the budget-minded deals that are incredible. By the way, they do all the installation. They do all the measuring. They do everything, and they do it for less than the competition that makes you do all the work. Can you imagine that? They do it for less than these companies that make you measure, make you do your own install, and hopefully you get it right. They're the best out there. Made in the shade, 720-458-6566, or check them out at denvershades.co, not .com, denvershades.co. That's denvershades.co.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code OIL25.
Right now, we could all use some extra cash, so why not visit David Ellis Jewelry to cash in your old useless tangled jewelry, coins, and anything else containing precious metals. He'll even buy your fine jewelry and diamonds. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I recommend David Ellis Jewelry because I've known David for years. I trust him. You can too. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's 3rd and Clayton. 303-322-8779. 322-8779.
Man, I am happy to tell you about the only realtor that made the cut for Team Dave Logan, and that is Troy Hansford. I recommend Troy because he's the only agent that will guarantee to sell your home at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. And the good news, he puts that in writing. He can make that guarantee because he spends tens of thousands of dollars generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money. 720-900-4433. Again, that's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford with RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
So you're redoing your kitchen and bath? Got just the place for you. Below wholesale pricing on cabinets, granite, sinks, faucets, bath hardware, and all kinds of accessories. Buy in and Build. Great for do-it-yourselfers or send your contractor. And another option, let Buy and Build do it all. Turnkey, low cost, high quality. Buy and Build, 560 South Lipan, just west of I-25 on Alameda, then south on Lipan. 303-295-6022. Buyandbuild.net.
The holidays are a time for reflection on what matters most and the relationships that make life meaningful. At Trajan Wealth, we're proud to be a trusted partner for many of you on your financial journey. Whether you're planning for tomorrow or looking to build a legacy, we believe in doing what's right every time. As a veteran-owned company, I know trust isn't given. It's earned through honesty, integrity, and a commitment to putting our clients' needs first. For those of you that have heard my commercials for years but haven't yet called, know that most of our clients come to us from other financial advisors. You know you deserve more from your financial advisor. Our team, who have the hearts of teachers, are standing by for that second opinion. I promise we won't waste your time. This is more than our duty. It's our passion. So this holiday season, let us help you unwrap the gift of Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
What's up, everybody? Adnan Burke here to tell you about a new podcast. It's NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here, and after playing 700 NHL games, I got a lot of dirty laundry to air out.
Each week we'll get together to chat about the sport that we love.
But we're not just going to be talking hockey, folks. We're talking movies, we're talking TV, food, and Adnan's favorite, wrestling. It's all on Le Table.
Listen to NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers and start listening.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. This show is for you. Hey, we got that buy order on that car, and this lady, I'm telling you straight up, Medved definitely charged her for gap insurance. I'm going to bring her back up. Pam, I promise, I'm trying to get a roofing expert to come on. But hold on, you're going to be up after Liz. So, Liz, this is nuts. They definitely charge you for the gap insurance. It's like $850. It looks like you finance the majority of the deal. And then you're saying 4 or 5 months later, someone canceled the gap insurance, and that someone was Medved, correct?
I don't know who canceled it.
Well, who else could have canceled it?
I guess I don't know. But when I called to make the gap claim with the J&M people, they said, no, that was canceled back in July of 2020.
Which is 4 or 5 months afterwards.
Did you ask them who canceled?
Yeah, did you ask who canceled?
No, I didn't. I was not able to speak with anyone. And then when I tried to talk to people, I'm just getting a total runaround. I can't get through to people. They just send me to other email addresses and other accounts.
That's crazy.
It has been very frustrating. And additionally, I had this backup plan for this auto loan protection policy, and I can't get that to pay out either.
Well, now wait a second. That, I think, is more of coverage like if something breaks. That's on that same line item, right?
No. This is through my vehicle insurance.
That might be a separate gap policy, but they're probably written in their policy to be secondary to an existing gap policy if one exists.
So, my God, so that would mean she has none if the other one doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you send us a copy of that policy to look at? Here's what we're going to do, though. Here's the bottom line. Deputy Scott, or we call him Deputy Dollar, has got this. He's going to call up Medved and start there. He's going to get more information from you. But we're going to hold your hand to get through this because I don't know how this can happen. I just don't know if the bad guy is Medved or if the bad guy is the insurance company. I have no idea who the bad guy is in this. But you're saying for sure you didn't cancel it and your daughter didn't cancel it.
No.
It's crazy. And neither of you ever received a refund check either.
No.
See, to me, and I hate to think this, and this is just my own personal opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. To me, it sounds like the dealership, and I find it hard to believe, but my gut goes to the dealership either canceled it on accident or canceled it on purpose to get another $850, or they forgot to mail the check to them or something along those hands, and the coverage never got put into place. But regardless, you don't have coverage. This whole thing sucks. Deputy Scott, let's get on the horn with MedVed. Get on with someone over in the financing department, and let's figure out what the hell's going on with this. I don't know what their justification could be. And then the insurance company, they got to be able to show us a cancellation note or something. Got it?
Got it, Mark.
All right, hang tight, everybody. A lot coming up.
Okay. I think that's probably what she was referring to.
Recommending that case. It's really interesting.
I can.
Like,
I've heard the hits by our weather people that give the forecast. They don't necessarily give the current temperature.
What are the substantial contacts? Who knows?
That's the definition I can't find.
You're not gonna find it.
KHOW.
You have to argue it.
Yep,
that's the hard part. It's so unique to every circumstance. You know, for you, it may be.
Okay, well, you called the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show.
You know, 50 people in Colorado.
Okay.
And that seems sufficient enough to use the IP addresses of local internet carriers to get there. And, you know,
okay.
That may be enough.
We don't necessarily have somebody that is over KHOW. It's just individual radio programs.
But the defendant has to raise this issue.
So I'm not sure who you would talk to about that. I'm not sure how to help you. KOA is our news division, and so they kind of oversee everything. And so if you've already spoken with Kathy, she'd probably be the one to tell you.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting.
Jurisdiction is always in play. I mean, if you had, let's say you had.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, some third party was identified and they were brought into the suit. Now you had two people in Colorado, one out of state, one out of jurisdiction. You're out of federal court. They would literally eject you like a pilot ejecting. You would lose jurisdiction, you're done. You have to like state court. So jurisdiction is always in play.
Interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought once you filed an answer, you're done. Thank you for explaining. It's very good.
I think venue is way if it's not. Fighting with the police and showing his ass and.
Look at him. Restrained by cops as he arrives.
Struggles with police.
He was so subdued yesterday.
Was that the accused?
Yeah.
He's like yelling and struggling with the deputies.
I like how Trump, by the way, told Trudeau he could be the governor of our 51st state.
First state. Yeah.
That's an alpha male move.
It was. Sure. How about the handshake with the French guy?
The Frenchy French.
It was like this.
Yeah. I've never even seen that before.
I have not seen that dominant move.
What the hell?
He looked like he was getting ready to thumb wrestle him. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Trudeau doesn't know what to do. He says, hey, we got $100 billion difference here in trade. This is crazy.
Good afternoon. Thanks
We
for
need to
calling
change that. He's like, that'll bankrupt our country. He goes, well, no big deal. You can be the governor. It'll be our 51st. Oh, I love having him back.
Me too.
Is it just me, or is he literally like the president now?
Yeah, that's.
I don't even know where our president is.
Yeah. Oh, the world leaders were lining up for an audience with him in France.
Or they're flying. Or they're flying to
They're
him.
already flying to his home.
They're like Biden. Biden who?
Yeah, he's faded into obscurity already.
It really is
Completely
remarkable.
irrelevant.
I think he's really pissed he got pushed out. And then after, they got swept, I mean, he's got to be really pissed. Like, he's got to be in the I told you so zone.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Well, his wife is. I'm not sure Joe knows what's going on.
Wow, fair enough. Well, he does between 11:30 and 11:35 a.m. Apparently. And there's this thing, this drone. What the fuck? Have you seen pictures of these? So in New Jersey, over, I think one of them's Trump's golf course or something in New Jersey, there will be massive drones just popping up in the sky almost every night. And I mean, we're not talking like little drones. We're talking drones.
Like military drones.
Well, not like they're flying overseas and dropping bombs from.
Yeah. But big time.
More like a movie production
Yeah,
drone.
they're government drones. They're part of this protection detail.
No, they're saying that the FBI and somebody else is now involved. No one knows where they are or where they're coming from.
How is that even possible?
That's what I said.
They have radars and helicopters and drones of their own.
Well, we had that
age?
Chinese air balloon over us for a goddamn 3 months, slow crawling across the U.S.
And then somebody finally woke up like Rip Van Winkle.
And shot it down. It's like...
It kind of reminded me of the Balloon Boy incident.
Oh,
Remember that?
Martino was involved in that.
He went looking for him.
He was following Balloon Boy.
He went to look for him.
Everybody thought that kid was in there, man.
Everybody did.
I watched it unfold.
I remember. I thought he was.
Well, everybody in the media was like, the kid's in there. I kept looking at it going, where the fuck is he in there? How's that work?
Daniel Penny acquitted yesterday.
That was great.
That's awesome. That man is a hero. He's going to get a congressional
medal
award. Yeah, some kind of a gold medal or something.
I think that's really cool, man.
I think it's awesome.
I think if you sat there, if you lived in New York and ride those subways, which virtually everybody does, you know exactly went down, and you were happy he was there. I was just glad. I knew there was no way he'd be guilty, but what I was afraid of is there'd be one asshole and the thing would get hung, and Bragg, of course, would bring it back.
Oh, yeah, he'd have to sit through a second trial.
He's the worst damn DA. He goes after the good guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, the people that had the cops down kicking the shit out of him, he could care less about.
Yeah. The TDA fuckers.
So, and did you hear the mayor of New York the other day talking about the gangs now? Now everybody is finally admitting these gangs are real. It's like, remember, it was only a couple months ago, Aurora was saying there's like one gang guy there.
Denying reality.
So a good way to think about that jurisdiction, like let's say you were in an airplane and you flew over Colorado. Would that be enough to get jurisdiction on somebody?
No way.
What if they landed in Denver, but you didn't get off the plane, and they just had to get more gas, and then they took off? No. Enough?
What, and he gets the text at that point?
Maybe.
No, just for any hypothetical.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it would be curious if you got the text at that point.
Substantial contacts, you know?
Yeah, it's a good question. There's no answer.
Did you
right?
cut me
Got
down?
off the plane and went in and bought a hamburger at one of
I think it's up to the judge.
That
Needs to be louder.
that is substantial.
Now he's transacting
Shannon's
business
been
in the state.
doing it from the board over there.
What if while eating his hamburger he served his ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we did.
Right?
Yeah, in mid-bite.
So, I mean, that's
he
the kind of
probably
crap
potted
that
me
we
down.
struggle with in law school. And, you know, you're like, write an essay on why jurisdiction is valid for
Such
the
a
guy
pain
that
in the ass.
flew over the damn state or something, you know? And you just do it. You know, that's what you do in law school is you say, all right, you know, tax revenue of the plane flying over, and and you just throw the facts out there and see what sticks.
He doesn't wear headphones.
There's not a
so
specific list. I
probably
mean, that's
why
the
he
hard
did that.
part. When I was in law school, it's like I used to wish that we had like a book of motions. Like I wish I had a book that showed me every motion you could file. There's not such a thing. The list of motions is like motion to do whatever the hell you want the court to do, you know? So it's one of those kind of things where there's not really a list. There's 60 years of case law that defines what it is, but that may or may not help you with your case. You still have to make the argument.
Welcome to the only show of its kind. We're here to help. We're here to help you. In fact, I'm going to start off this way. Over $300 million. $300 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, services directly due to the show. Over 45 years in Denver. Longest running radio show with the same host, period, end of story, in the country. If you, my friends, have been ripped off or taken advantage of, now's the time to call. We have two lines open, 303-713-8255. Don't forget 303 Martino. That number, of course, works on and off the air. You can also always reach out by email at help, H-E-L-P, at troubleshooter.com. Joining me today in studio, John Fuller, Fuller Law, personal injury attorney. John's actually done some other stuff when it comes to legalese. You were You worked in the DA's office years ago, right? No? Criminal defense for sure, though.
Yeah, I did a little bit of criminal defense work early on in my career.
That's a hard gig, isn't it?
It's it's challenging, but it's fun. It's a,
Well, my daughter's in law school.
Yep.
She was working for, who's the big guy in Wyoming?
Jerry Spence.
Yeah, so she, during one of her breaks last year, was up there, but she ended up doing something. She pretty much had to defend, not her personally because she was in school, but was part of it, someone that she thought was disgusting. I'll put it the way it was.
Right.
And that would be very hard for a lot of people to do. And I'm not talking about, I understand the Constitution. We all deserve the best defense we can possibly get. It's what the country is based upon. But when you have like video evidence of someone that's like molesting a child or something that's just so insane, God, I just don't know how some people can do that. Did you find that aspect hard? I'm not saying you ever had a case that deplorable, but I mean, God, or you don't even go down that route as an attorney.
Listen, the fact that I may represent somebody doesn't constitute an endorsement of what they did.
Of course.
I don't have to say I believe and I approve of whatever conduct they did, okay? I do believe that the burden of proof is on the prosecution, okay? I do believe that corners get cut a lot. And I do believe that when the government, meaning all of the aspects of it, the prosecution, the police, the whole 9 yards, if the government cuts corners and cheats or manufactures or does something improper, the penalty for that is they don't get to put the guy in jail forever.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just my own belief about it. And so I didn't have to come to grips with and reconcile my personal moral, ethic with what the guy may have done or not done to be able to still maintain a very clear vision of what my job was there to make sure that the prosecution did theirs. And that's the minimum that we hold them to in this country. And if you're the guy that's accused of something you didn't do,
that's where you need them.
Then you darn sure want to know that somebody is on your side making sure that they're doing their job correctly.
And we, of course, represent Joe Lazzara, and he's a criminal defense attorney here. He's on the show all the time. One thing I've definitely learned from him is even the people that are guilty, even something like a DUI, anything, a domestic violence, it's amazing if you have an attorney what the punishment could be compared to if you don't. Yeah. I mean, if anything, if you are guilty, you might need an attorney even more. Not necessarily to fight it to where you didn't do it, but to get the best deal out there.
I mean, listen, I have been on cases where I go into, a small little municipal court on something that didn't even rise to the level of, a county court DA even thinking that you might spend a day in jail, and have the offer in this little municipal court be, 90 days or 180 days in jail.
Something unheard of.
And you're like, they wouldn't even bring these charges at the county court level or the district court level, and yet you, in your infinite wisdom, are proposing that this guy go to jail for 6 months for something so minor that they wouldn't even charge. So are there inequities in the system? Absolutely.
Damn right.
You better have an attorney on your side to at least be able to balance the scales and know the score and know that that's a ridiculous offer and that is never going to fly,
Hey, Liz, by the way, Kelly, tell Liz called last hour, Medved apparently canceled her gap insurance. That's my opinion on this. If they didn't, the insurance company never got paid and canceled it, or the insurance company did, or I guess it's even possible Liz or her daughter did, but you would think they would know that if they did it.
That gap company probably issues a binder. They probably issue the policy
and never got
with
paid
the
by
expectation
Medved.
of getting paid, monthly for all the gap policies that they issue or something, and something fell through the cracks.
Okay, well,
and they didn't get paid on it.
Let me ask you this, then,
John.
Let me ask you this. So with Liz, real quick, and all we can do is go off of her conversation so far.
Yep.
She calls up. We have the paperwork. She definitely bought gap insurance. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
4 or 5 months later, it got canceled. She found that out recently because they went to use the coverage, and the insurance company said it was canceled 4 or 5 months after. I agree. They probably had some kind of binding on it with the dealership, and they were covered for a certain amount of time writing on the check. That makes more sense than anything at this point to me, but that's just an opinion. So let's say we find out that's correct. The insurance company says we never got paid, and Medved cannot show a check ever sent to the insurance company or some form of audit proving they paid, okay? Where would you go from there? So she, I think...
Civil theft.
What?
Civil theft.
So, but you would hire an attorney.
Well,
I think you'd have to.
I happen to know one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a civil theft. That $800 that they charged her, either they didn't send it to the Gap company, but they darn sure didn't send it to Liz.
They kept it.
So they kept it. So they deprived her of her own money. They misrepresented that deal to the lender who loaned money on that. That money is in their coffers, and that bank got defrauded. You know, I mean, that's just wrong on every level. And if this lady is now looking at a gap that she thought was covered, I hope her lender's coverage makes her whole. But if not, absolutely Medved should be on the hook for that. And if it's a civil theft, if it meets the elements, I don't know that it does, but it's darn close. I think she gets into triple damages for that, you know?
What sucks about it is you do hire an attorney. I mean, really, if Medved doesn't want to prove that they paid or didn't pay, if they just shut up and do nothing,
sue them.
Well, I know that, but you're gonna have a nice little chunk of money you owe that attorney, no matter what.
Yeah, and you may be able to get a guy, you know, with facts like Liz has that, you know, seem like pretty darn good evidence. You might be able to get somebody to take it on a contingency. If you end up being entitled to triple damages,
of course,
okay,
and maybe attorney's fees.
And I don't know what the gap is that they're trying to make up here.
Hey,
on
Liz,
this
how
case.
much are we talking? What is that coverage?
What is the total value of the vehicle now versus what's owed on it?
Yeah, like is it 20% of 50,000? I mean, what are we talking here? I think she's got us on hold. I'm going to put her back on hold.
Okay.
Anyhow, so Deputy Scott, you've got all the info, right? Did she send you over the second policy yet, Liz, that is?
Not yet, Mark.
All right, so we're waiting on that. We can go ahead. Kelly, just make sure we have her info. Deputy Dollar's going to be reaching out to her. Pam, with this roof, I'm trying to get Jay Bretz on, but I want you to continue the story. You have a townhouse. You had a new roof put on in 2018. Some of the shingles were coming up. You called the original installer of the roof, and they came out and said, no, there's a problem with the materials. So the company, by the way, is it Corning? What materials are they? Who actually issued the checks?
It was Malarkey.
So Malarkey says, okay, your share or your part of the roof, because it's a duplex, is going to be $11,000. So they handed you a check basically for $11,000, and then they handed your neighbor who owns the other side of the duplex a check for a little more because the roof's bigger, right?
Correct.
And that's kind of where we left off. Then I was trying to figure out, okay, well, how much is it going to cost to redo the roof? And you said at first it was $18,000, but then you changed it. So where are we at now? If you do cash that check for $11,000, can you get the entire roof replaced for that?
No.
Okay.
So the other person in the other side of the duplex actually immediately assigned her settlement letter. I asked her not to until I checked into things more, but she signed it anyway.
Why do you keep assuming that has anything to do with you, though?
Well, because I didn't want to use the roofer that she wanted to use. I wanted to use the original roofer.
Okay.
But she signed a settlement letter and a contract with a different roofer. So then because we're combined, I had to use her roofer than I was forced to.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, or maybe not forced to, but it made more sense than anything else.
Yeah, and so the original roofer recontacted the shingle company and tried to get more money because normally a roof is free when the shingles fail. But warranty
that all depends on the warranty, though.
Right. The warranty on the install was only 5 years. We were just over the 5 years.
Got it.
And the shingles were 50 years. So he reduced his price for me, thinking that I would maybe be able to use him because I didn't know she had already signed the contract. And
So where do
it.
we stand with the whole thing right now?
Well, the roof was put on this past Monday.
Okay, so how much? Keep going.
But when they delivered the materials, my driveway had a couple cracks in it, but now it's got cracks everywhere. And I didn't take pictures ahead of time of the driveway. Who would? I didn't think of it as a woman by myself. But I sent the pictures to the roofer, and she said it wasn't their problem. It was the delivery person's problem.
That would
and
be correct.
They said that they took pictures. They said that they took pictures before they went into the driveway, and that it was already cracked, and there are no new cracks.
Did they show you those pictures?
They look like the pictures that I sent the roofer, to tell you the truth.
No, what? Okay,
So
can you
there's
send us those pictures? I'd love to see them.
Yes. You want mine and theirs?
I want whatever they sent you where they're claiming it's the same.
Okay.
And
I
send
can do
me
that.
yours too. When are you going to send them? Can you send them over this break?
20-some pictures in each. I have a very long driveway, and there's 20-some pictures in each group.
Well, send me the ones that they're hanging their hat on.
Okay.
Does that work?
But in the meantime, the roof has been put on, but I don't feel real comfortable with it because I see that
Well,
they
it's
put
too
a lot of
wait,
clear
though.
silicone.
It's too late to
Okay.
even deal with that, Liz. I mean, they put Pam, they put the roof on. It's done. It's over. I mean, unless there's a problem with
Right.
it, you're not going to do anything there. Nothing's going to happen there.
Okay, because I was going to try to have a roofer come and inspect it and tell me if everything looks okay.
Well, I mean, that's
Because there's
fine.
a lot
Having
of
someone
silicone.
inspect it. Why do you think there is an issue with it? Why?
Because on all the siding, they put clear silicone in through the cracks on the siding and joints on the siding, which they never asked me if that was something they could do. There's pieces of flashing stuck in different places. There's pieces that are raised up that look like, why did they do that? They're bent and raised up. I mean, I just don't know.
Where are you located?
And then the inside, I'm in Louisville,
Oh, Lord.
Boulder County.
Yeah, I know. All right,
But
hold tight.
there's like
Hold on, get me-
holes in my drywall on the inside.
Hold on,
where
hold on.
the
Get me.
skylights are at.
Hold on. Get me those pictures. I'm putting you on hold. Try to send them over this break. I want to look at them over the break. Send them now.
Okay, Pam, if you could send those to help at troubleshooter.com, I'll go ahead and forward those right over to Mark. Okay, but go ahead and stay on the line and just send those to us because I don't think that they're done with you. Okay? Hang on.
Man, do I love the people over at Integra Insurance. You know, every year I reshop our health insurance. Things change in life. Maybe you've been on the same Medicare Advantage plan forever. Maybe you have any questions that have to do with Medicare whatsoever. Do you realize there's certain things you can do now where you get a certain amount of money each month to actually spend on groceries depending on the plan and depending on if you qualify? And on the actual Connect for Health Colorado right now, the open enrollment, all the plans have changed. Maybe you have Kaiser and you want to look at a different thing now. Maybe you had kids that have moved off your plan onto their own and you can save money. There's so many different things happening. You need to call Integra. You need somebody that can help you through open enrollment, and you've got to do it soon. These dates are coming up real quick. Then open enrollment is gone, and there might have been something way better for you and yours, and now you can't get it. Call Integra now, 303-466-5500, 303-466-5500. I promise, John and the gang, it'll be the best thing you ever did. Call Integra now, 303-466-5500. Now, this one I love, Vestera Properties. So Barry, that's the guy that puts all this together. He's incredible. He's got a group or a team that goes around the country and basically finds very undervalued properties. They buy them up. You invest with them. You own the property. It's actually deeded to you. They manage it. You make rent on it. They cover everything. They go through to where you just sit back and count the money coming in. Then when you want to sell the property, you sell it. And because he bought it right to begin with as an undervalued property, you actually make some good money when you sell it. It's like investing in property, but you don't need to know anything. And the guy's been doing it over 30 years. He's has clients he's made more than 50% returns for. I want you to call Barry and the gang and just talk to him about how it works. 303-888-3788. I always say diversify. This is one of the ways to get into property. Maybe you're in the stock market. This will get you into property, and it's complete turnkey. 303-888-7388. Man, they really did sell this lady that gap. There is no doubt about it.
Oh, for sure. But I'm guessing it was just a mistake that they didn't bind that contract by paying for it, and they probably had 400 gap contracts a month, you know?
Yeah, so they owe her the money.
They sure do, but that's not that simple. At this point, they owe her what that would have paid for.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's not just give me my $800. That's the least of it. It's way bigger.
That JM&A, the Gap company, they're pretty big. I looked them up. They do car warranties and obviously Gap. And
right.
So here's the weird part. She called the Gap company.
Right.
And they said it's been canceled.
She didn't go,
and she didn't
why?
say, who the hell canceled
When?
it?
Who?
What did she
Why?
do? Oh, thank you. Goodbye. I'll just call
All they
Mark.
had to do was say non-payment, and then she would know, you know?
Isn't that instinctively your first thing to say, how did
Why?
this happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's more to it than she says.
Oh, there always
because
I don't think so on this one.
Really?
You don't think so?
No.
Also, Curtis is ready to talk to you on the air about the concrete work.
Oh, good. He is the.
I just emailed his phone numbers. He's got 3 phone
He's looked at the
numbers.
pictures.
And and so I emailed.
It's
to
Mr.
Kelly.
Curtis to you.
Well, yeah, because he's got 3 now, so
Good
he is
afternoon. Thanks for
50%
calling the
better
Tom
than
Martino Show.
than the bad guy.
Colorado law.
He's the guy from the referral list, right?
Yeah.
Concrete.
Yeah.
Whatever concrete company.
Yeah, he said Mark
Okay,
knows him
what's your
well.
name? Dean? D-E-A-N?
Did you guys see that Google has
Right,
a quantum
hang on for
chip
me.
now? AI, I assume. It can actually. The stat was unbelievable. It can solve a problem in 5 minutes. That's gorgeous.
Nice looking code.
Well, I've got all
In
kinds
5
of
minutes,
problems.
that would take the average computer now, ready for this? 4 times the life of Earth, whatever that is.
No shit.
Billions of years.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
How could that have happened?
It's called, I think it's Willow.
It sounds like
I
something
think it's
they
Willow.
found like in the remains of the Terminator.
Is it called Willow? Yeah, Willow. Meet
Google
Willow.
chip. Okay, let me take
The state-of-the-art quantum chip, and it's crazy.
It's called
So here,
Willow.
this thing of time I've never heard. It's so long. What the hell's the name of it? You remember, Dragon? It's not like it makes a Google look like nothing.
Like septillion?
Yeah, 10 septillion years on one of today's So one of today's fastest computers, a supercomputer right now, would take 10 septillion years to solve a problem this can do in 5 minutes.
Well, I got all kinds of problems to bring to its attention then. So.
And if you want to write it out,
like
it's
some real head scratchers about some wiring issues I have at home.
10 with 25 zeros after.
10 with 25 zeros.
Wow.
I love the
doing
name
the
Willow.
Second.
Be like, connect the green to the blue.
Right.
And have a nice day. That'd be 75 cents, please.
I love this thing.
Did you live in New York, Mark?
Yeah.
Where?
I was born in
that a-
Schenectady.
Is
Lived
that
in-
a surprise?
I used to live in Queens.
Did you? I never lived in the city. I lived in right outside of Philly for a long time. Okay. In South Jersey.
That part. Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Highest property taxes, I think, in the state or in the
South
country.
Part, so that would be pretty close to the Great Adventure, right?
10 seconds, guys.
I don't know if we've...
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. Oh, man, we've got quite a bit cooking. Can we try to get... hold on here, I'm sorry. I lost a little track here because think of this, folks. This is nuts. This is so crazy on this Google computer chip. Think of what I'm going to say. This new Google computer chip can solve a problem in 5 minutes. 5 minutes that a supercomputer right now, I assume the supercomputers are running all the normal AI now, whatever a supercomputer is now, in 10, I got to find the word again. I've never heard of it. Septillion. I have never, septillion years. And a septillion years longer than Earth's been around.
That's a 10 with 25 zeros after it.
So this new chip by Google, and we're not talking something they're working on, it is a new chip by Google, in 5 minutes can solve a problem that today's supercomputers would take 10 septillion years. That is like, I can't even wrap my head around it. You know what it reminds me of? You think of never ending. That's so hard to think of. Infinity. You think of just never ending. Like the universe, not even a galaxy. Like it's just never ending. No start, no stop, just forever. 10 septillion years. How the hell can they have a chip that is that much faster? I mean, did they they must have found it somewhere. Now, let's be honest. Did they find it in the desert, buried under some ice or something? I mean, how all of a sudden do you go 10 septillion years quicker?
They took it out of a UFO.
They had to. I mean, where the hell did this thing come from? I'm looking at John like he should have the answer. I mean, this kind of thing would replace all of us. There is nothing a computer that fast couldn't do. It could emulate all of us all at once, and we wouldn't even exist. Think about that. What's that game? The Sims. Basically, maybe that's all we're living in now is The Sims. And there doesn't even need to be humans anymore. I mean, maybe we're here just for an amusement. 10 septillion years.
You got to lay off that stuff, Mark. Okay.
10 septillion years,
You really got
John.
to lay off. Either smoke more or less, one of the two, because wherever you're at right now is not working for you, okay?
It's absolutely insane. Hey, Jay Bratz, Excel Roofing, I want to ask something, man. How are you doing, by the way, Jay?
Great, Mark. How about you?
I'm doing good. Are you out traveling the world this time of year? I know you and your wife travel a lot.
You're not going to believe this. I am sitting at my desk at the office.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness, Jay. I'm proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you.
But I was coming back from lunch, and I was listening to the radio. I always tune into 630 KHIW.
Did you hear Pam's issue?
I heard Pam's issue, yeah, and that's a bummer right there. I want to tell you and everybody out there listening, broken driveways happen. It's just a fact of life in the roofing business. We're putting really heavy trucks on driveways.
Well, and it's not you, though, is it?
Hell yes. I take responsibility.
Now, wait a minute. When you order, but you don't have a warehouse where in a truck that delivers shingles.
No, but the guy that I ordered those shingles for, that's my business partner, and I believe that we're collectively responsible. When we crack a driveway, I get together with my supplier, and we figure out how we're going to take care of the customer.
And, okay, so in this case, they're denying it.
Let me say this. That's not every time, because all of a sudden, I mean, if we go out there and there's a driveway that has had the dirt washed out underneath it, and it cracks because it was not sufficiently supported, I'm not going to pay for that.
Well, hold on.
Or if a driveway is
a better example, though.
I'm not going to pay for it.
How about in this example? Let's say her driveway already had a bunch of cracks, so the integrity was already beat up. Then all of a sudden, this truck that's heavy rolls on it, and it gets worse. What would you do then?
I would, at that point, I'm going to tell the customer you had an old cracked driveway.
Exactly.
And it needed to be replaced. I cannot be held responsible for additional damages at that. But if they've got a new driveway,
you'd say
and
that
there's
before they delivered?
That's a good point.
We're going to take a look. Okay, but this is what certain suppliers will do. They will make the homeowner sign a waiver saying, we're going to put a heavy truck on your driveway and we're not responsible if we crack your driveway. I do not let my suppliers do that.
So when would you warn them, though, to Dragon's question?
What's that?
When would you actually warn them? Like if you guys show up to do the install, I mean, like when you guys did our house, you've done our roofs. So when you guys did ours, those shingles showed up. I don't think you guys were even there. The manufacturer showed up and dropped them off. I think they actually put them on the roof, if I recall. Then you guys showed up a day or two later and knocked it all out. So when would someone actually warn you if there were cracks, hey, you better watch it, this could get a lot worse? Would that be the driver's responsibility?
We do not specifically warn people about that, Mark.
Okay.
What we do is when we're talking to a customer, we show them a picture of that truck on a driveway and say, we're going to put this big truck on the driveway. And every now and then somebody will say, hey, I have a brand new driveway. You can't get that truck
I want to ask her something. Hold on a second. Hey, did you send those pictures over, Pam?
I did, but I'm not sure what you got.
I haven't got anything yet. Hold on. I'm going to put you on hold. I want you to stay right there. Jay, can you do me a favor? I'm going to have Kelly forward you those pictures. I got to take this break. When I come back, tell me what you think of these pictures, the before and after, according to this company. Is that cool?
Sounds good. I'll hang on hold.
I love it. Hang tight. Everybody hang tight. 303-713-8255. Dean's got a question on unpaid wages. In Colorado, it's kind of crazy how easy it is to get paid if you're owed money. Hang tight.
This is Denver's talk station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan.
Do you have can you email me other pictures to that? Your rig? Yeah. I want to see how different. I want to see the layout. Is it the bath and a half? Oh, you're going to love that. You're going to love that.
That's your RV.
What? Oh,
they don't have the inside, Coach, but it's what the slides are in and stuff.
I didn't know that was.
Why is it at Trailer RV World or Transwest? Oh, cool.
It's a beautiful coach. I mean,
it's identical to mine.
It's pristine on the inside.
Yep.
You know?
They haven't changed any of those. They might have changed them in 2024, but they're all identical.
Right.
610 horse, right?
605.
Oh. All right, I got to tell you about Zero Res. Here's what I love about them. Listen to this. High alkaline, super soft, purified water. It is the best cleaning agent for carpet out there you can imagine. These guys do a unique scrubbing technique without the use of chemicals, soaps, solvents, or emulsifiers. Your carpet is going to look absolutely gorgeous when they're done. It's going to dry quick, which you have to appreciate if you have company coming over. And you know the other part that's cool? You know how a lot of times you'll have your carpet cleaned by those other guys, and about 3-4 days later when it's dried, that wicking happens. And all of a sudden that stain that was gone reappeared. It's like magic. Not with Zero Res. These guys do it, and they do it right. It's safe for the kids, the pets, but they also do tile and grout cleaning, granite cleaning, mattress cleaning, upholstery cleaning. Maybe you got an area rug. You name it, they clean it. They're the best. ZeroResDenver.com. Simple as that. ZeroResDenver.com.
It's a great-looking RV.
Yeah, I mean, she's clean on the inside.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's closed up. Let me see. So, yes, you got a televator there. It's the exact same sink we got. Okay, this is cool. The only difference is here, this is a love seat. Over here, you have the two recliners, which I like better.
I do too.
I have a full sectional, which is cool, but I would use the recliners. I love the recliners better.
So that was the main reason we didn't buy that King Air. I mean,
Because it had the L.
It had the couch and then the love seat. No, it didn't. It had the couch and it had a fireplace under the televator. Didn't like that. And the bathroom configuration was different.
So this is so I don't know if you know this, but the eating nook, that actually extends almost double if you want.
Yeah.
It's so long, it's like, I don't even know why it's that long. We've never used it.
They've got 2 leaves that go in there.
And then the bathroom, I assume, what kind of, you got vessel sinks or sunk-ins?
This particular one has a
Dual vessel.
double, one sink that's for 2.
Oh, that's cool.
With a long
I got
rectangular drain in it. You
And
know?
then full body sprays, all that shit. And then is it a televator in the back or is the TV flush?
No, the TV is mounted in this one, so you actually have the drawers down below.
And then that's what we have, the
Right.
drawers down below, which is great. You want the space.
Right.
And then you have the gun safe and all that shit.
Yeah, it's in the bathroom.
It's identical. It's
in
crazy.
that's the beauty of that 4551 floor plan, is that you've got the full width closet in the back that has a safe in it, instead of the sink in the middle and 2 little baby closets on each corner.
Correct.
Right.
No, it's got a ton of room. And then underneath, you're going to have, I assume you got the deep freezer. Yeah. Yep. And the built-in vacuum is honestly fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's got that too. It's got
A built-in vacuum in a motorhome?
Yeah.
The heated floors.
What?
So when like right now, mine lives in its garage I built, and it's plugged in. I set the heated floors for store, and they are on. And what they do is they cycle on store mode, I think every 20 minutes. So it takes the temperature, figure out
Good
how
afternoon,
long to
thanks
stay
for
on.
calling the
So the thing, I never have to winterize anything. Underneath, here's what's weird, is underneath actually stays warmer than
That's where the heater is, though.
above, where the heat coils are. You're going to love that thing, man.
About?
You pulling the trigger? Ah, you're not buying it? You're going to love it. You backed out of the house, go buy a toy.
We're still trying to find a house.
Okay.
And
we love dude. You know, we travel.
We don't use it as much, dude.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like, could I get 30 days a year in that?
Yeah, you could easily.
30.
You could. We do anywhere from 30 to 60, maybe even 90.
If I got 30 days out of it, okay?
Yeah.
Our work is
Okay, so this is the issue with the storage unit?
At some point, it's not really.
I always figured you
my
could.
wife travels all the time. You know, we have different needs and stuff. If it would be about $2,000 a night carrying expenses for that RV. There's nothing. It's not that nice. For $2,000 a night, I can fly first class and stay at the Ritz,
if you're well, we do that as well, but we still love this. We love visiting people. We love meeting up at these nice resorts. We love staying on the ocean. We just love that shit.
I just live on the ocean, you know?
That's true. You did live on the ocean.
Your side, call Fuller.com.
630 KHOW,
an iHeartRadio station.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. We've got a ton kicking. Do you know if Jay Brett's got those pictures of the driveway, Kelly?
So initially the attachments didn't come through. She just resent them, and I'm sending them right now.
Okay, so we're going to go back to that. Jay Brett's our expert, needs to look at them. The woman said the roofing company came out, delivered the shingles. Her driveway is just all cracked and messed up, and we wanted to get an expert opinion, so we're going to do that. We still got the MedVed thing going on. And then we have, what were you working on, Dimitri?
I'm still waiting to hear back from Walmart, where that elderly lady was scammed.
She got screwed from the gypsies, $570.
Yeah. And the second thing, and this is ready for an update. So Curtis from Performance Concrete is ready to give us, Proform.
Oh, let's get him on. As soon as we get a
Yeah.
line open, let's get Curtis on.
Yeah.
And what happened with this is the guy said he got his patio done, some other stuff around his house, and he said it's absolutely horrible. They sent pictures. I didn't get a chance to look at the pictures. You sent them to our expert. We're going to pick his brain. Thank God for referralist.com. Good people.
Yeah, he's ready whenever Kelly wants to or has time to call him.
So as soon as we get a line there, Kelly, let's jump to that. Jay Bretz is going to be looking at that. And then let's talk to Dean real quick. It sounds like Dean's employer is not paying him. What's going on with you, Dean?
Hi, guys. I'm a highly qualified paid professional, and I'm certainly in the exempt class, but I feel like I'm being ripped off.
Hey, Dean, you
on
got to
hours.
start that over, man. You dropped off.
Okay. Hi, I'm a cloud professional, so I'm certainly in the, highly paid executive class, exempt employee, but I still feel like I've been ripped off by hours because I was promised a bonus if we, do a lot of hard work, get good numbers, get the company sellable, and once the company sells, they would make up for the shortcomings of my pay in that sale.
Hey, Dean,
Now the
basic questions. Were you paid biweekly, monthly, salary? How were you
Biweekly.
paid?
Biweekly salary.
And how much was
But
that?
they promised me that I would take a lower salary and get paid later.
How much was that lower salary, Dean?
It was like $225,000 at the time.
So what is it? Okay, so the total year, of course, $225,000, right?
Yep.
And then they promised you, in lieu of paying you what, $300,000, that they would bonus you at the end.
Typically in my role, especially in the current market, you would get paid around $260,000 base with $100,000 bonuses.
Okay, so
benefit.
you're talking. You think you're off? Did they actually? By the way, did they end up selling the company?
Yes, they did.
And then I assume none of this was in writing.
Because what's that?
Was any of this in writing?
Absolutely, I have all of it in writing.
Oh, so you have in writing if they sell the company that you get the bonus.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I'd
now
love
they're
to
trying
see that because if that's the case, I can't imagine you wouldn't get the bonus. John, can you imagine why he wouldn't get the bonus if he had that in writing?
Yeah, should be a simple contract matter.
I mean, it should be very straightforward, Dean.
Did you ask anybody about the whereabouts of your bonus?
They're trying to bolt on stipulations that weren't part of it, right? So it appears to me now that the previous CEO was up to some nefarious bad stuff.
Okay.
And so it
But
seems like he was
Dean,
robbing
you
Peter
still
to
have a
pay-
contractual agreement with them. It either says you'll get the bonus under the circumstances where the company exited or sold, or you won't. I mean, it's really not that hard. I mean, you either should get it or not if it's in writing. So if we look at the language in the contract to the best of your ability, did you meet everything you were supposed to meet? And did they get what they were supposed to get to sell or hit certain numbers? Should you have gotten the bonus, or is there some loophole in there? Whether you think it's a loophole or not, I don't really care, while they're saying you're not going to get it.
Well, they're claiming that now they're trying to say that there was an escrow account and there's being tax claims against it. There was previous loans against the company, a bunch of details that weren't in anything that I signed. And now they're trying to come back and say, well, because these things happen, we can't pay you.
Well, okay, in general.
And that just doesn't feel right to me at all, no matter how much I make.
Well, there's two things you can do here, man. I understand. The first thing is, believe it or not, I'd go to the labor board. You were not an independent contractor, right?
No, I was an employee.
Yeah, I would go to the labor board first with that contract. That's not going to cost you anything, period, end of story. You're going to show up down there, make an appointment, and you're going to say, I was supposed to get this, and here's why I was supposed to get this. Here's their handbook, here's our employment contract, whatever it is. This is what I was supposed to get, I didn't, and open the case. That is the very first thing I would do. Now, if they see a reason...
out when they can blame the previous CEO?
Say it again?
That's what they're really... Do they have an out when they can blame the previous
Dean,
CEO?
is it the same company you worked for?
It is now, yeah.
That's what...
They
Okay.
bought the company that made those promises.
Okay, all I'm saying is, if the CEO made you a promise in writing and everybody agreed to it, and a new CEO comes in, yes, they still owe you the money.
Did they sell the company or just get a new CEO?
They sold the company.
I just asked him that.
So there may be some successor liability issues that come into play here, and he may not be able to still maintain an action
That's true,
against the new entity.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, are we talking a C corp or stock sold and it's still Microsoft, for example, or are we talking someone just bought the assets?
I don't know the details of the sale.
Well, that's a big thing.
I don't mind it.
But even so, John, that doesn't mean the old CEO or the old company might not. It's going to be tougher to get.
But let's be clear. The old CEO was acting, in theory, as an agent of the corporation, not in an individual capacity.
Well,
you couldn't go sue the CEO himself for your wages because he's merely, hopefully, acting on behalf of the corporation. But that corporation today may just be a shell of its former self.
Yeah.
And there may be no successor liability for those unpaid wages.
Or there could be assets still sitting
there. Or there could be assets still there, or any number of different variables in there. You need to go. I mean, I still think the labor board's a good way to go. Go and find out. Let them do the research and figure out what the status of this corporation is. Maybe they just bought it lock, stock, and barrel, and they're still going to be on the hook for your contract liability.
How big's the company, Dean? I mean, is it massive, medium? What do you think they do in a year?
We're like a company of 200 people. We were a company of like 40 people when they bought us. It's very small.
You know what I would do? Once again, Dean, I swear to God, I'd go down to the labor board first. I would bring the contract. I'd open that dispute against them. Like John said, they're going to end up doing some research, figure out what's going on, and then they're going to get back to you. At that point, if you still want to pursue it, I would call a labor and wage attorney and discuss it with them, either a free consultation or even pay a couple hours to go down and talk to them and really dig in to if you have a case or not. But I think the labor board's going to answer some of the questions. They might come back and say that corporation is no longer. They're just simply not there anymore. We have no one to go after, meaning the labor board does it.
Yeah.
Got it?
But with the labor board of their hometown, so the company's now based in Miami. They were based in Denver when this all started.
Wherever you worked, I would go to the labor board to start here in Denver. I would not fly off to Miami right now.
Yeah, you don't know that new company has any liability for the obligations of the previous company. So the place to start is the jurisdiction where the previous company, existed under the laws that dictated how they handle their employees and everything else. So that's going to be Colorado. And then, maybe there's still something here to go after. I don't know.
I got to break 100%. Hold tight, man. If you have another question, I'll come back to you, Dean. Let Kelly know. Information.
Oh, we can see you. I'm not convinced he has a contract that promised him more money if the company sells.
Well, he said he did. I mean,
all
I can do is...
Still got to collect, man.
I thought the labor board only makes sure that people get paid at least the minimum wage.
No, they're...
You're going to need to turn it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think any wage claim.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I think it may even be a prerequisite to, a private attorney bringing an action. Because there's some pretty stiff penalties for screwing people over if you're still a viable company.
I'm going to use you.
You are.
John Fuller, Fuller Law. I love when you're in studio and I get to talk about you. You kick butt for us. Suzanne and I, as you know, we were driving home from Sam's Club. That lady T-boned us. Suzanne ended up in the emergency room. She had a broken nose, plenty of injuries. It was bad. Every single airbag went off in the car. It was terrifying, to be quite honest. After talking to you the next day, you get back from the hospital. The bottom line was you got us maximum policy limits on that from the other driver, 100%. And then what was it? Maybe a year later, Adeline got nailed down 25, got rear-ended, same thing, airbags. She had injuries. You got the same exact thing for her. And because she was a minor at the time, you really did hold our hand in her hands on when she should get paid and the best way to look at the settlement. Honestly, the best thing I tell other people why I use you is I got to talk to you directly when I wanted to. I assume that goes for every client.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I hear the same ads that you guys hear on the radio and the television and stuff, and then I hear things that I just can't believe. Like, there are some law firms that send out these people to come to your house and sign you up. I never knew that even existed. I've never had a client that doesn't, at some point end up spending substantial amounts of time, talking with me and my staff and all of us. They get to know us on a first name basis.
It's personal.
That's what we do as an office. We're small, we're nimble, we bring great service to the table, and we, we really care about the outcome for our clients.
It's not just the service. The service is impeccable. I agree with that. That's why I called you twice. But it's the results as well. There couldn't have been better results. No, I know. You might even argue why you would. I'm not sure. But I don't think some of these bigger companies out there, these guys that have their picture on every damn train going through town and the trucks and everything, I don't think they would have spent the time. I think they would have settled much quicker. But that's just how I feel.
So listen, I agree with you to an extent. There are companies that just have so dang many files that they can't possibly dedicate the amount of time that we do.
I know.
In just exhaustively trying to find other avenues of coverage and to get the best outcome that we possibly can for our clients.
And the last thing I want to say about this, John, the one thing you did that I'm not sure if other attorneys do at all, the negotiations at the end. We got the settlement. We got the max amount. You went to the hospital. You negotiated bills down that were $20,000, $30,000 down to $5,000 or $6,000, and you put a lot more money into my pocket. Period. End of story. Put this number in your phone. 303-597-4500. I promise, when you're in these kind of accidents, they're horrible.
Well,
you don't even think straight. You want the number to call. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. John Fuller.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Take care.
I'm going to make up to fix it sometime next hour, Dragon. Fire it off. Or do you want me to just knock it out now? I don't care.
So, wait a minute.
Let's do it. Yep, just let me know when. Okay.
All right.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Gentlemen.
What's your name? Dave? D-A-V-E?
Luigi Maggianos.
No.
Yeah, once we get everything figured out,
Yes.
We still may be in the market for something like that, but we're just not going to do it until this crap gets resolved.
FixMyHome.com. Fix it 24/7. I love these guys. I'm going to tell you two reasons. One, new customers.
I believe you do.
$39. You get that furnace cleaning, and you get the no breakdown guarantee. They're going to come out, spend 1-2 hours cleaning that furnace. They're going to make it look great, more efficient. They're going to make it operate better. You get the idea. $39 for new customers. Now, if you're an existing customer and have any problems, it doesn't matter if it's heating, cooling, electric, anything like that, $39, you get a technician out to your house to check out the problem for only $39. Licensed, insured technician to your house to solve a problem, $39. Go to FixMyHome.com. Listen again, FixMyHome.com. Okay. I'm waiting for this to break again. Maybe
Close.
I'm okay. All right. I think Michael Brown unscrews it when he knows I'm coming in. He'll see me out there. He'll see me walk in there and ask you a question.
It looks like it's cross-threaded as hell on the second juncture.
Yeah, it is. They've replaced the shit out of this thing. It is. I mean, the whole thing bends.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I knew it. It was only a matter of time.
So unhook your wire, and that way you can.
I got it.
Not
It
since
just
we
still
switched
doesn't.
out the
Here's
one
the
from
problem.
Freedom.
Yeah, that's the
I fuck with it.
first time that one.
I admit it. If I wasn't constantly doing this, it wouldn't fall.
What?
He admits it.
I think it's Tom.
We've
Tom
made-
sets me up.
We've really made progress, you know?
Bacteria.
Admitting the problem is the first step.
Oh, I guess.
Does not matter.
Hey, Kelly, tell Jay I promise I'll come to him right after the break. Offer to call him back if he doesn't want to stay on hold. There's no way. Dragon started the break so late this time.
Right. There's no time.
Make
between
sure he
breaks.
knows Dragon started the break late,
Okay,
please.
so
All
can you
Dragon's
hold,
fault.
Until after the top of the hour break, or do you want me to call you back?
You ain't coming back, so don't worry about that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
John.
Hold on.
You know those big PI firms that advertise on buses and stuff, like $1 billion? What do you think their average settlement is?
Same as mine.
Oh, really?
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I keep hearing the term
So my
settlement.
husband tried this app. He says
hearing
it
what?
sucks.
Settlement
Oh, I'm
mill?
sure.
Yeah.
And an attorney I know who interviewed at one of those firms said that this is 10 years ago. The average settlement was like $1,200.
No way.
You think that was just bullshit? Or
Yes.
You misunderstood something.
There'd be no money.
Yeah.
There's no way to make money on
That
a $1,200
advertising
case.
budget you're talking about alone is $3-4 million a year.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. I just thought they might have 80,000 cases per year.
No, but they'll have, I bet Azar has between 1,500 and 2,000 cases at any given time. Bacchus probably has 1,300, maybe.
God, so many. It's
And how many cases per attorney?
Well, I mean, you got to understand the way things work. I mean, not the attorney, maybe 300, 400. But I mean, that's with 4 paralegals working
Yeah.
under him, or 5 paralegals. So I mean, there's,
I've sent you the email.
there's different things that get done on cases. I mean, there's running the case, but then there's getting all the medical records, getting a demand draft,
And her email
dealing
and
with
her
all the paper-
phone numbers and
notices and all the crap we have to do. Way before we would ever think
Whenever
about
they
filing
send
litigation on a case. Like we'll have a case for 2 and 3 years before anything ever gets filed in court.
You know?
So I mean, that's what
Yeah.
people don't know
So
is
you
that
should be good.
the vast majority of cases don't ever get filed in court.
Oh, yeah, that's
You
what I
know,
figured.
but they still take us 2 to 3 years sometimes to get resolved. But that doesn't mean that the attorney is working on that file every day for 2 to 3 years. There's just things take time and stuff, doctor's appointments and recovery and physical therapy and all this stuff, takes time.
What he shared
But-
with me is the cash flow timeline. It's crazy, man. It could be you start a case and a year and a half, 2 years later, you finally get paid.
Right.
Think of that.
And you might have 20,000 into it, right?
Absolutely.
Witness costs. And
Whatever.
All this
Yeah.
stuff.
My staff, my rent, my
Yeah.
insurance,
You pay
all
those?
those guys like to get paid every month,
Yeah.
Bastards.
I remember during COVID, it was such a unique thing. Remember, no one was driving
Yeah.
for the
Right.
period of lockdown, so there's no cases coming in. But of course, because of the 2 years prior, he's cash flowing.
We
But
had a
then towards the
pipeline.
end, you're screwed.
Everything got started up again, but my pipeline was pretty well depleted. So, that's the way the world turns.
I
So
remember driving
mine is
down-
a very difficult business to get into for attorneys that don't have, 100 or so cases or a lot of money, because you don't just have money coming in. Think about a criminal defense guy. He gets paid cash on the money or on the wood.
Or a will
up
guy,
front,
or a
will
family guy.
or any of those guys. They're billing monthly or they get a retainer up front. I don't. I have to front load everything for the whole pendency of the case.
Sure.
So if you start today and hang out a shingle and do what I do, it may be a year before your first income.
You got to eat for 2 years.
It's very difficult. So, you ask questions that are good, but they don't. They're hard to really. Like, well, how many cases does the attorney have? I don't know. I don't care.
There might be I'd say
there could
like
be,
Frank might have
you know,
maybe 100 attorneys, maybe 50.
He's probably got closer to 50. But I mean, but there's pre-litigation where there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases that don't really require an attorney's touch.
Or just the intake.
Until they begin to negotiate with the insurance company, okay? The intake may well be done by somebody other than the attorney, you know? I myself have clients that I don't talk to in the intake process because they don't ask to, they get all their questions answered, we get the paperwork going, and we get going. Before the end of the case, I'm going to talk to them for sure. We're going to get to know them. That's going to happen for sure. Some guy told me the other day that, well, you say you give out your phone, but I never got your phone. And I'm like, you have it right now. I'm talking to you on my cell number, but the reality is pre-COVID, everybody came in my office to sign up. I always had face-to-face time with everybody. I haven't seen a client in 2 years that's come in my office to sign up. We do everything over the phone, period. People don't want to leave work and come down to a lawyer's office. They don't want to do Zoom. Normal people don't do Zoom every day.
Yeah, I don't want to do Zoom. I want to come over.
You're the
a lot of people
you're the
like
odd duck.
Really? I'm in the minority?
Yes, absolutely. Haven't had a client in my conference room in 2 years.
But, holy shit.
I'd make them come to me.
That'd be so lonely.
There you go, Mark.
And I'd drive up to Pikes Peak in my bus and say, you, Mr. Fuller, are meeting me at the top of Pikes Peak.
I'd be like, there's probably somebody better for you.
There's a better fit out there.
Let me help you find somebody,
John, do you do medical malpractice too?
No.
You want to talk about cash flow. So
Yeah.
Ben Dinelli does some of that. He'll outlay a couple $100,000.
Oh, sure.
Completely at risk.
Oh, 100% at risk.
Well, they definitely try to screen the fuck out of it, but I guarantee they've spent bad money.
Oh yeah,
There's no doubt.
Everybody gets bitten in the ass once in a while, right?
Yeah. No, that's why I don't do them. I'm just like, no.
Couple of $100,000 before.
Hell, we had that 20 years ago when I was first starting out. I worked in a med mal firm. I did their intakes for them for a long time, and so I'm very intakes. I met with all the new clients coming in the door. But we did an audit one time, and our average, which was an average, was a couple $100,000 a case out, and we had like 240 cases. So do the math. That is not a poor man's sport to get into, So when you think about, med mal case, I mean, God, you've got the entire world against you, and you've got the power of these insurance companies, which, believe me, can outspend you 1,000 times over.
Unless you're Elon, yes.
Unless you're Elon Musk, but it's a brutal sport.
Do you think the biggest, take the two biggest in the state, whatever, say Azar and whoever, it doesn't matter. I would assume they have a true business manager in there as well, right? A non-attorney, or maybe an attorney, accounting, that does nothing but purely budgets and overlooks it, right?
More than one.
You'd have to.
Of course. It's like a regular business.
Almost like a medical.
The thing about what I do is you got to be a good attorney. That's only half the battle, but you also have to be a good business person. You got to do both.
You do.
They're not one skill set. Yeah. You've got to know how to do payroll and all that crap that goes along with it to keep the doors open, but you also got to be good at practicing law.
You need to know how to use a grill and also be able to boil steaks.
Right. Takes both skills.
Where's your office? What part of town?
Downtown.
Huh?
Downtown.
Downtown Denver?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a house. At one point, it was a house.
It was. We sold that and we moved like 16th and Lincoln, so we're like 2 blocks from the Capitol.
Office now?
Yeah. Big building.
That was you owned that a long time, didn't you?
Yeah, like 15 years.
Oh shit.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Denver's talk station is available everywhere. Just download our free iHeartRadio app. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Ripped off.
just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints to the tune of over $300 million. $300 million. Cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, all directly due to this show. Here's the clue. If you've been ripped off, you call us. If someone took money and ran, you call us. If they didn't finish the job, you call us. You got a landlord that's putting the screws to you, you call us. You got an employer that's not paying you what was promised, you call us. We dig in. We try to help. In studio with me, attorney at law John Fuller. John, love when you come in.
Thank you.
You're going to actually be riding solo on this show, the second and third, right?
That's it.
I'm looking forward to coming back and listening. Tom and I will both be out of town. Now, Dimitri, you going to come in with John? I think you should.
Oh, yeah, I have tons of legal questions for him.
Let's pack the house
it's
for him.
like free time with a lawyer.
That is true. You know what I would do?
Save
Bring your
problems,
case.
you know?
Bring the different cases you filed
And a
just
highlighter.
knock it out while you're here.
Right.
All right. And then, Scott, you coming in? I love it. We'll try to get Deputy Doc in here as well, and you guys can go at it. Looking forward to it. 303-713-8255. Tom and I are trying to build a strong bench to where we can do some other stuff occasionally, and I think John's a good piece to that puzzle. I'll let you know, folks, when a line's open. I want to finish up with Pam because we have Jay Bretz on. So Pam called up and said, here's the bottom line. I only had a few cracks on my driveway before the shingles were delivered. This huge truck delivers the shingles, and now I've got cracks all over my driveway. She sent pictures of the before and after. I had our expert at Excel Roofing. In fact, Jay and his son, they're my roofers. I mean, really, we've used them multiple times. They're just absolutely great guys. In fact, one of the largest in the state of Colorado. But, Jay, you had a chance to look at the pictures, I assume?
I did, Mark. Did you take a look at them?
I did not. Okay. Dragon was very late coming out of that last break, so therefore
Gotcha.
I was in a rush, but let's just leave it at that. So what did you find out, sir?
I can tell those pictures were taken by the supply house. And the reason why is just because the first picture that a supply house always takes is a picture of the address. And then there's lots of pictures of the driveway, and then there was pictures of material stocked on the roof.
Got it.
It could have only been taken by the supply house. And I didn't count how many different cracks I saw, but there was quite a few. And I would say, in my opinion, that it looks like there was a lot of pre-existing cracks.
So that's kind of what we talked about.
Anymore.
The integrity of the driveway, because there was cracks already there. It would be a hard argument for her to make that they screwed up the driveway because it was already screwed up.
There was already multiple cracks on that driveway, for sure.
Hey, Pam, I don't think we're going to be able to do much, but I do want to ask you this. Did you call up not necessarily the roofer, but the supply house or whoever delivered the shingles, and did you complain? And I'm sure you did because you sent us those pictures, so I'm just being redundant in my questioning to you. Did they just outright say nothing?
I do not know who the supplier was. I went through the roofer, and there were a total of 3 cracks in the driveway. 2 up at the top that were like curved ones that supposedly are normal because we've had the driveway looked at before.
Sure.
And then there was one sort of in the middle, but the whole bottom now is, and then, of course, the old cracks got cracked more, but there's a lot of new ones.
Jay, you saw the pictures. I am not privy to them. But in other words, is it safe to say there was 5 cracks, now there's 50?
I would say there were 3, and now there's, I don't know how many.
Okay.
I'd have to count them. There's so many.
Pam and Mark, the other point that should be made is you can tell a new crack within, let's call it the first 7 days.
Got it.
Because the crack does not have any dirt in it, and it is an obvious fresh crack. And I didn't.
They're smaller.
If you had proof of that, Pam, that would be something else to talk about with them. But from what I saw, those pictures on the driveway, there was just multiple cracks, and I would say it's going to be a hard deal.
Well, let me
to
put
get
it like
those
this,
guys to
Jay.
take responsibility.
What would you guys do? Let's say you were the roofer and this came up in this exact circumstance. What would you do?
I would have gone out there immediately, and I would have identified any new cracks that had happened. I would calculate the square footage of the pads. And my opinion would vary. If the pad already had a crack on it, when I say a pad, I'm talking a 10 by 10 section.
Yeah.
If the section already had cracks, I would say, no, I'm not responsible. But if it was a pad that did not have any cracks and it was obvious that we had cracked it, I would offer the customer, I think $12 a square foot is what the
I
going
like
rate
what
on
Jay
concrete
just
is
said.
right now.
Pam, you're going to have to do a little research on those pictures and literally figure out, is there any squares that had no cracks and now they do? Do you understand what we're saying? Inside each expansion joint.
Yeah, right. The thing is those pictures are all after pictures. Before I don't think they have before pictures.
Pam,
Okay, go
I
ahead.
truly
Sorry.
believe that those were before pictures. And the reason I say that is because I know the format that supply houses, the sequence that they take the pictures. The first thing they do is take a picture of the address of the house.
Jay, do you know
then they
who
take
that
pictures of the
supplier
driveway.
is?
I have no idea.
Okay. How many, just
another
pull
thing
your
that-
skirt up real
Mark.
quick. Tell me, how many suppliers are there in town, Jay?
Let's call it 8 to 10 different suppliers.
Okay, so there's quite a few. That's all I want to know. That's cool. So listen,
But
I like everything
oftentimes,
Jay's saying,
Mark,
Pam.
Hold on. Oftentimes, the roofer will have a clause in their contract that says they're not responsible for any driveway cracks.
Okay, and I don't know
And
that.
Pam would need to research the contract that she signed to even see if she has a leg to stand on in the first place. And another thing that I just want to bring up, and I think this is good information for you, Mark, most suppliers make the homeowner sign a waiver before they even pull the truck on the driveway.
You said that.
Saying, we're not responsible.
And I did not.
I
did not.
Okay, that is just, and I want to give a heads up to everybody listening. Excel does not make people sign.
Hey,
that kind
hold
of
on a second. That brings something up again. John Fuller, attorney. Put your legal cap on for a second. If they did not get her to sign anything saying we might damage the driveway, we already know, just because of the pictures, that there was some pre-existing damage, some cracks, but now there's many more cracks. Do you think she has any of a remedy here when it comes to monetary? Do you think she's going to get paid or no way, Jose?
No, I really don't.
I don't think so either. Pam, I mean, really, that's what we can do for you. Which is virtually nothing. I mean, I would just give up on it now. The driveway already lost some of its integrity, and we've had an expert on that's one of the largest roofers in Colorado, Jay Bretz, and he's saying no. And I'm sure that's not what you want to hear, but we tend to give people the facts, so that's kind of the deal. Hey, Jay Bretz, by the way, man, anybody out there needs a roofer, you call Jay. These guys are absolutely unbelievable. They put a hail-proof roof on my house. I was able to save money on my homeowners by, well, first of all, because of the kind of roof, I saved some money. But where I save most of the money, I up my deductible because I know nothing's going to happen to my roof. It's a synthetic like plastic, but it looks like slate. It's absolutely beautiful. You did all the gutters out there too. And I have these guys out twice a year to do the cleaning. I hope you do the same thing next year. But here's what they do. It's $199 for a one-story, $299 for a two-story, etc. But people call the show all the time going, should I get a gutter helmet or any of this? If you really start thinking about it, if you got good gutters, a gutter helmet system on a big roof could be $10,000. You can get those things professionally cleaned all the time for the rest of your life by Excel Roofing and never have a problem. Jay, do you want to throw anything in there? I like giving you some free advertisement because you've done so right by Suzanne and myself.
I appreciate everything that you're saying. That roof is pretty damn hail-proof. If hail destroys that roof, Armageddon has happened.
Yeah.
So we're talking like literally softball-size hail coming down.
There'd be holes in cars.
Exactly. So in terms of the gutter cleaning thing, our prices have gone up. except for Martino listeners. If there's a Martino listener out there and they say, hey, I want my gutters cleaned for the $199 special, I'm going to honor that forever.
And these guys
that
they
price
send
has
out.
gone up.
It's not like one dude comes out, man. They send out a crew. When they're done, they take hoses to every downspout. Everything is cleaned inside and out. You're never going to go wrong with Excel Roofing. Check them out at excelroofing.com. If you do want that gutter cleaning, make sure you mention that to them. And this kind of is the time of year to get it booked. Once hail comes and stuff, let me tell you, everything's focused on new roofs. So give them a call, 303-761-6400. 303-761-6400. Jay Brett's excelroofing.com. Gilbert has a question on reimbursement. Dave's got a question on a license plate. And we can free up Pam and we can free up Jay Brett's. Kelly, and that means 2 lines open. 303 Martino.
I'm
going to do 888, John, then I'm going to bring you into your own spot again.
Cool.
What do you want to talk about? Give me something in partic. I'll do it. 888heating.com. Oh, my goodness. Garrett and the gang out there have been working at our house for just years and years. You need anything done with HVAC, these are the guys you call. They can do it all. And I mean it. They can fix, they can replace. But what I love about 888heating.com more than anything is they always give you the option. Some of these other companies, they'll come out and say, oh, that furnace is 15 years old. And they'll twist your arm. You know what they do. They twist your arm into buying a brand new system, where the guys at 888heating.com might give you an estimate for $500 and fix what you have. You want the options no matter what. You got to have the options. I promise these guys are honest and their pricing is good. And right now for $45, only $45, they'll come out. New customers only. They'll do a full inspection on that furnace, but more importantly, they're going to tear it apart and clean it, make it look brand new. They're going to make it more efficient just by cleaning it, getting rid of all that dirt in there. They're going to spend an hour, 2 hours cleaning your furnace and making it the best they can. Then they're going to follow up with a no breakdown guarantee, all for $45. Check them out, 888heating.com. That's 888heating.com. John Fuller Law, he's been in studio with us, and as you know, John's going to be doing the show the second and third, but he's also what we refer to as an endorsement client. I have known John now for, my goodness, God, 10 plus years, and what I absolutely love about him is he's actually worked for us twice. We've hired him twice, and both times he got us the maximum amount. Something I mentioned last hour, John, and a lot of people don't know this. At the very end of the case, we had the maximum pot of gold, if you will, from the other side. But we still owed a bunch of hospital bills. At that point, we owed the ER, say, $20,000. Actually, I think it was more like $33,000.
32 or 33.
Yeah, 33. Yeah. So here's what John does that's amazing. So you get the pot of gold, but you still got to pay the bills. That's just the way it works. You negotiated, I think it was Skyridge, whatever the hospital was, you personally negotiated $33,000 in hospital bills down to like $5,000 or $6,000. Is that normal?
Well, so here's the thing about these car crash cases. It seems pretty simple, and you just think that the other guy's going to be responsible for your bills and it's all going to work itself out. But the reality is that these are really complicated cases, and especially when you have multiple health insurance companies, you may have an ERISA plan for your employer, your spouse may have a different employer, we may have 1 or 2 MedPay policies around, we may have stacking uninsured motorist provisions. I mean, all of this stuff goes into play. I have said for years that I can do, in my opinion, I can put 20 or 30% more money in your pocket if I get started early, because the proper thing is that we have to use all of those coverages and those benefits
in the best
to
way,
get the right result. And doing that correctly up front enables us at the end of the case to do the kind of things that you're talking about as far as negotiating with the hospitals. All we did was make that hospital do what they should have done with the MedPay policy up front
in the first
and
place.
bill it in the first place, and we forced them to do that, and in doing so, saved you $25,000 or $26,000.
I know for a fact you put $25,000 to $30,000 back in our pocket.
Absolutely,
doing that.
we did. We do that all the time.
You want the right guy. You want John Fuller. Write this number down. I always say it. Put it in the phone. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Yeah, so you walk in, it's crazy, man. You walk in, and so my daughter had an MRI and...
Oh, they got crazy with you guys.
And not an X-ray. What was the other thing?
CAT scan.
CAT scan. So MRI was like $14,000.
What?
Yeah, and then the CAT scan was like $10,000.
3 CAT scans at $10,000 and about a $5,000 MRI. It was like $32,000.
It was crazy. So that's what they wanted up
Yeah.
front, and he negotiated it down there. See, and I think part of the reason is when I walked in, I didn't want to share insurance money, so they basically made me a cash-paying customer.
Right. Well,
So did
and
you-
they do that all the time.
They want the
Skyridge
med pay.
yeah, that's the goal. But what we made them do was we made them acknowledge that the med pay was part of your out-of-pocket maximums, and we made them reprice everything according to Kaiser pricing. So even though they had that big, huge bill, it got repriced first because of us. And then your deductible got applied, and your med pay applied to the deductible. So, I mean,
It was the best outcome.
yeah, we just made it go the way it should have gone in the first place. And the reality is this, Mark, most people don't have me or somebody on their side, and so the hospital wins. They get all the money. They get all the med pay and still have a huge bill and still bill the insurance company. They get paid 3 times what they got paid on yours for the same exact service. That happens all the time.
Can you imagine walking into a McDonald's and there's 10 different prices
Oh, of course.
on a fucking Big Mac? I mean, it's really incredible.
So is this a typical service that you provide?
Yeah,
Or
we
is
do it on every
so
case.
that wasn't just a favor for Mark. This is what customers can
what we do.
hire you to do, is to
Definitely
redo these hospital bills.
As it applies to each case.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all different.
Yeah, of
you know.
course, yeah.
Not everybody goes to Skyridge. Not everybody has Kaiser. Not everybody has the same deductibles or copays or out-of-pockets. All of those factors are variables that get funneled down into each case.
And
you know?
if he couldn't get them repriced, I got this guy named Guido. He's my secondary
Luigi.
call.
How
Yeah,
about
Luigi.
How about Luigi?
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Guido come knocking.
No, that's just normal case. I mean, it worked out great for Mark, but it was just, we would have done that for any case.
I was so mad at this lady. She admitted right there to the
And I
cop.
saved the poor driver of the car that hit Mark from imminent bodily harm because Mark was on his way
Hey,
down
listen,
to
I
the
think
factory
that's
outlet
Walmart.
store.
That's Walmart calling me.
Nice.
Cool.
Make sure it's the market manager.
Because Mark was literally on his way to the factory outlet stores.
I was so pissed.
That was over your car, I think, at that stage.
No, it was pretty bad, man. It's like she acknowledged it. I mean, it's a good thing she did. She's like, I was screaming at my kids because they wouldn't shut up. And you're thinking, my God, your Suburban just T-boned my little car. I mean, really, like totally destroyed it. Have you ever been in a bad accident? God, it's jarring.
No.
It's so
I've
sudden.
been in a couple accidents. I have a concept of what that's all about, but it's scary.
So jarring.
You know, it's very scary and very. You don't know what the hell has happened. Even though you know what happened, you don't know what happened. You know.
We had, I would say, not even an eighth of a second. I just saw, bam, it was done.
Yeah.
It's not like you watch something coming. It's just like that.
Yep. Yeah, if you
And
had
then
more.
you look.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. By the way, that number, that 303 Martino, it works on and off the air. You can contact us anytime. If we can't get right to the phone to try to help you, leave a message. I promise we'll get back to you really quick. Kelly checks all those numbers every morning. So if you got friends, you got family members, I don't even care if they're in state or out of state. We love helping people. Our reach is vast. In fact, we've got more downloads than most shows on iHeart across the nation. Across the nation. That doesn't include YouTube, Facebook, over the air. It includes other affiliates like in Colorado Springs, KRDO. It doesn't include that. Just the podcast is amazing. Now, Gilbert has a question on reimbursement. What do you mean by that? A question on reimbursement, Gilbert?
Hi, Mark.
Hey, man.
So I have
You're good. Go ahead, Gilbert.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a storage unit that requires me to keep renter's insurance on my unit.
I love that.
The first year the letter come out, I had the insurance on there, but for whatever reason, I either didn't get the notice or I didn't renew or give them the proof that I had insurance on there.
Sure.
And I was just wondering if it doesn't say anything in their lease about me getting reimbursed for any of the money that I've given them, extra money. All it says in their contract is that if I don't supply them with the notification that I have insurance, that they're going to add their insurance and I have to pay for it.
You know what's curious?
All I wanted to know is...
Yeah, go ahead. You want to know... Go ahead.
If I'm able to get reimbursed from them or not.
Well, hold on. I've got some basic questions. Forget about the first year. Let's go into the second year where you did not renew coverage. Is that correct?
So, no, I didn't need to because my insurance automatically picks up.
Oh, wait, okay, hold on, Gilbert. So you're saying you had double coverage, basically?
Yes, I was double covered.
So,
yes,
okay,
yes.
This is very curious. John, I've never shared this with you. This is crazy. And he has the exact same problem I ran into. So, Adeline up in law school in Wyo, she's in one of these apartments where there's like 3 people. Each person has their own room, bathroom, closet, their own living area. Then they have a common kitchen. And you have to carry insurance. And if you don't, they put forced insurance on it. So happens, same thing happened to me. But 2 years later, I usually just pay her rent for the entire year so I don't have to deal with it. So I make a lump sum payment each year, 3 years in law school. I go to make the last payment, like whatever it was, 6 months ago, and I'm finally looking, and I'm going, now, wait a minute, this isn't what it's supposed to be. They'd been charging me for insurance for the second year and just about to start charging me for the third year, even though I not only had coverage the whole time, I had proof of coverage from Compass Insurance. I sent it to them. They said, well, you were supposed to upload it to the portal. My argument with them is that's crazy because whatever you attached onto mine had zero value to me, and I'm assuming it wasn't even a product that you guys were buying from someone else. I think you were just charging me X amount, so I want to see the policy info you're claiming. They didn't produce it, and they ended up literally reimbursing me for the time paid. But what are your thoughts on Gilbert's situation? I mean, if he didn't prove it, but yet he still had coverage, and they charged him for that coverage, well, let's pretend it's a car that you have financed, and you don't prove to the bank or credit union that you have full coverage on the car or, collision coverage. So then what? And they put forced insurance on it, or a house that they put forced insurance because the mortgage company. Isn't it unjust enrichment?
It may be, but it's at its heart a contract action. I mean, there are conditions that have to be met before they can put that insurance on there. Okay, if they're met, regardless of what really happened or quote unquote that's all that really matters when you interpret a contract. If you didn't have the insurance and you didn't provide them proof, or absent some mistake.
No, that's a big difference, though. But if you did have the insurance and for whatever, assume they would get the proof or had the proof, and then they end up charging you for insurance while you're covered.
I would think they should have to give you some kind of notice of their intent to add the
Well, I
insurance
know this.
on
If
there,
you have two automotive policies, one of them's got to pay you back, right?
Well, I have had accidents where we cashed out two policies that overlapped each other.
Oh, my God.
And we got limits out of both of them.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I did not know that.
So we had a kid that moved to town from like Philly or somewhere else, right? And knew that he had to get new insurance when he got here, and he did. But he didn't cancel his old
So he had
insurance.
two
He just thought it would
policies.
run out. And we discovered that's another thing like what we do. We discovered that there was another policy in effect.
Did the other policy ever find out there was two policies?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And they fought over who went first, but in the end we got all of both.
So,
and so
Gilbert,
it didn't matter.
Gilbert, when you talk to this place and say, hey, here's my proof of coverage, what do they say? You were supposed to upload it. You didn't give it to us. What do they say?
So what happened is the first year they got it. The second year, they either sent a letter saying that I needed to show them proof, and I didn't either get it to them or I forgot to give it to them. It was still covered under my car insurance.
I get you, but since then, it was covered the whole time. You never lapsed in coverage, but they charged you for a year of their own coverage.
Yes.
Man, what do you guys think, Dimitri? You're pretty good at.
And to Mark, there's nothing specifying that they don't have to pay me. The only thing that's specifying in the contract is that if I don't show them proof that
that's what
they're
John
gonna
was
force
saying.
Insurance on me.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Your only argument would be, I did show you proof, but you don't have proof you showed them proof.
Yeah, and if your excuse and defense is, I forgot to give it to you, I don't think that's a very strong position.
What was your excuse when you talked to him? Did you already tell him something?
So they're just humming and hawing. They're saying, well, here's my boss gave me a copy of the contract, and I said I read that already, and there's nothing in it.
John, this is the part I don't know the answer to, but it drives me crazy. If someone says, like a credit union, we're going to put forced insurance because you're not giving us proof of insurance on that automobile that we collateralized. Here's what I can't stand. What happens if they don't? What happens if they just charge you for it and it's just an internal thing they wrap up? There is no actual coverage. That's where I go, it's not fair. So, but we'll never know that. Because what does that insurance cover anyhow? Just your liability? I mean, what does this insurance cover?
No. It doesn't cover that at all. It doesn't insure this guy to go out and drive safely and legally on the streets of whatever.
No,
all
but
it does
we're talking
is
a storage unit.
It protects their interest only.
No, I know that in the case of a car,
right.
It protects nothing but the collateral. But in the case of the storage unit, what the hell did the insurance even cover?
Fire, flood, I don't know.
The insurance just covers their property.
So it does. It's his liability on his little chunk, basically. Like if you accidentally drove through the door or something.
Which they're going to charge you for anyway.
Which they're going to see. It sucks. Yeah, one of you guys want to take a stab at it? I mean, really, I don't want to put stuff on you. You guys don't even want to do. So honestly,
I'll be happy to look into it.
You want to take a call on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll need to speak with a caller first because I have to confess to missing most of his call because I was on the phone with Walmart.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that update. In fact, hold on, man. Hold everything, Gilbert. Dimitri's going to talk to you during break. We come back. The Walmart thing was crazy. Lady walks in, and basically a woman walks up to her in Walmart and says, I don't have any money. My kids are hungry. I've got 3 cans of formula. Can you help me? The lady's nice enough. She agrees to pay for the formula. While they're still walking around the store heading up to the front, every time the woman turns around or whatever, meaning the lady that got scammed, the woman that's scamming her keeps throwing stuff into her grocery cart. An example would be Claritin, medication, maybe some gift cards. I don't know. Different things equaling $570. So the bottom line is the old woman, and she's a woman at risk, possible dementia, over 70 years old. The bottom line is this. She got taken by this person for $570, and we know it happened because Walmart later on pulled the surveillance, and they actually acknowledge this is a problem in Walmart stores right now, or in some Walmart stores, that these gypsies, and I'll use the word gypsies, are literally ripping people off with this scam. So she got screwed. Dimitri got through to Walmart. We're going to find out what happens after this.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now.
Because of the time.
I was like that too.
Yeah.
I could tell you were surprised, just as I was.
So I was basically talking to myself for 10 minutes.
I agree with you, Mark, 100%. You know,
that's all. Listen, when in doubt, just repeat.
You tell him, Mark.
Man, you are on it today, Mark. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
you should go take the bar, sir. I think everything's cleared up now, right? 25 was a little funky.
It was a little slippery when I came down. You know,
This
and it was
neighborhood
slow.
was awful.
I took my Tesla thinking it'd be cool.
How did that work out?
It was fine. I got brand new tires on it, but if the snow's more than 4 inches, I won't move.
Oh, it's so low.
I need to tell you about Sheridan Auto Tech. Uncle Kevin. Man, I've used Kevin so many times. You realize it doesn't matter if you need a new alternator or don't know what's going on. You need a diagnostic, maybe an oil change, cooling system flush, air conditioner service, all the way to a brand new engine, possibly a transmission. These guys do it all at Sheridan Auto Tech, and what I love about them, any work you have done right here in Colorado with Sheridan Auto Tech, guess what? You're covered nationwide. 36 months, 3 years, anything they do, whether you just want to use them for maintenance, whether you want to use them for repairs, diagnostics, pre-purchase inspections, Sheridan Auto Tech, Uncle Kevin, I use them personally. Please check them out at SheridanAutoTech.com. That's SheridanAutoTech.com. That dude raised $3 million for his legal team. I wonder how much of that he has left. I mean, really, for a criminal defense attorney, that's what you're looking for, right? I mean, there's, unless you're OJ or, I mean, that's the deal right there.
How much did people donate for him?
$3 million. Well, that was something I heard months ago.
Yeah. I bet they used a good chunk of it because he had quite a few people in his little entourage there.
They did a good job, man.
Yeah, they did.
They just pounding the people on the train constantly. Were you scared? Did you think you were going to die? And like every single one of them was like, it was terrifying. I am so glad he stood up. I thought I was going to die.
They're gonna nail his ass on the civil side, though.
They already served him.
Well, they said, here was the deal, though, I heard yesterday. I don't know how true it is. So first of all, I mean, we all know the guy was insane and homeless. I don't think he's ever had a job, and they're thinking on the damages. And he was, what's the word? Not estranged. Hasn't talked to his family forever. Estranged from his family. So it's like they were talking damages. Are like, I'm not even sure what they're going to go after.
Right.
But you're right. He's going to need those legal fees.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you agree with that? If you have a homeless guy that's mentally insane, has never had a job, has no family, no kids, I mean, your damages are next to nothing, right?
But that doesn't mean the jury won't give them what they want, right, to make a point, to punish the white guy.
Well, we already know that's not happening in New York City with this guy.
He's going to have a different jury.
Well, that's true. I think if you've been in New York City, which I have multiple times, and you've been on the subway, even 10 years ago, it was a shit show.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Did you? Was it minimum? No.
It was kind of a fluke, but we got the money.
I assume a settlement. Yeah.
Who actually got the money? Did he have family that? Oh, okay.
Okay. Usually we send people to Compass Insurance. And
Yeah,
I
his
can give you
father
that
was
phone
on the
number.
courthouse the other day. This guy's, the guy that got killed, and he's like, I miss my son. And it wasn't long ago he hadn't talked to his mentally ill son
What's your name?
for years.
And you got the whole BLM group up there and stuff, and it's like, are every one of you guys the one that
All right,
bought that
Bill,
big
hang
ass
on
house
for me,
out in
and Mark will
California?
be with you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which
$3
one you
million.
got? Was that you that bought that big house, or, God, what a mess.
I'd like to think the original organization, BLM, started for at least a good reason. Someone had a vision or something.
They did.
But
a vision of being able to extort one hell of a lot of money.
It got so corrupt so fast.
Yeah, I think it started corrupt. I don't think there was a moment when it was legitimate. It was always about extracting money from white guild.
It was kind of the Jesse Jackson and.
Oh yeah.
The whole.
Who's the asshole on NBC?
Yeah.
Oh.
The formerly super fat guy.
What's his name?
Al Sharpton.
Sharpton.
It was their model.
Yeah.
The whole Rainbow Coalition.
But a lot of
and all
that was
shit.
over. They'd go to corporations, so more than anything.
Yeah, but it's the same gig.
I get it.
Same grift. It's the same grift.
Same.
That's been going on for decades.
Yep.
Just a different facelift.
Jesse and Al perfected it.
Successfully so.
Can you believe Tesla broke 402? Broke 400 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Fuck.
Good job, Mark.
My average buy in that is.
More help from Bell and Pollock at championsofthepeople.com.
You have our word will treat you right at Done Right Home Improvements. DRHI.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. I got to go to this update. I got to recap real quick. Bottom line is some gypsies basically screwed this poor old lady that's possibly got dementia in Walmart. They talked her into buying some baby food or baby formula and ended up getting her for $570. Who did you talk to at Walmart, Deputy Dimitri?
Hi, Mark. Just a few minutes ago, the store manager at that particular store called me back, and we had a conversation about it. I was very surprised to find out that he hasn't heard of this event.
He has not heard of it?
No, so he...
Well, first of all, they said the video was pulled.
Yeah, so it sounds like the security department didn't communicate this to the store manager.
That's
Perhaps
a
'cause
no-no, but okay.
Well, it might be like a normal everyday occurrence over at that store. Who
So what did
knows?
he say?
So he's going. So I politely asked him I humbly requested him to consider issuing a gift card to this elderly lady because the scam drained her and literally her entire disability check for the month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this has a tremendous impact. So he told me that he needs to look into this, and I believe him, of course. I didn't expect an answer right on the spot. So he needed some details. I gave him the caller's name and cell phone number. He told me he's going to immediately call her, get the details, start researching, and then he's going to call me back once he completes his research.
I think Walmart, honestly, I think they're going to do the right thing, and I don't think they owe her anything.
I agree.
They did nothing wrong here. She got scammed inside the store. I've been at a Walmart, Dimitri, where somebody was staring at gift cards, and they looked dazed and confused, and I walked up, and I said, can I help you find something? And I don't work there. Mm-hmm. And at the same time I walk up, an employee walked up, and the guy said, well, I was told to buy 5 of these, whatever these were. And the employee actually jumped in and said, no, someone's trying to trick you, mm-hmm. and went into this whole bit. Mm-hmm. So I know Walmart does get trained for stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I you know what? We're a Walmart town. What do I mean by that? Who do you think owns these them there Broncos out here?
Oh, of course.
So,
yeah, I mean, they have quite a presence.
They got a hell of a presence out here, and I bet there's a market manager, mm-hmm. possibly a store manager, JJ or somebody else. I'm just making names up here. Mm-hmm. Ellis, I'm just saying, that might be able to come through with this $560. But
I hope so.
I think Walmart's one of the best companies out there. I'll say that.
The gentleman I spoke with really took this matter very seriously, and He didn't tell me no right on the spot. He's going to educate himself on this issue.
And you
he's
might
gonna
hear
call me
back from the market manager as well.
Yeah, I left him a message as well.
Hey, Dave, what's going on with your license plates?
Hello, Mark.
Yes, sir. Yes, Dave. David?
Yeah, Mark. I wanted to ask this question for Tom, because once upon a time I heard that he was on helping these people from Venezuela.
Okay.
And I guess somebody donated a car, and he wanted it for them.
Dave, hold on a second. Let me take this break. I'm up against it. Put your thoughts together. You've been holding for 50 minutes, and you're not spitting anything out. But I do want to hear what your question or comment is right after this.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Denver area highways are dry and snow-free and moving well. Some side streets still have snow and ice pack, but it's a good-looking early afternoon drive. No delays along I-25 in downtown, Thornton, or the Denver Tech Center. I-70 is moving well in both directions locally and in high country. Westbound I-270 is moving at about 40 miles an hour from Quebec to York. No delays on I-225, and there is a crash at Jewel Avenue and Gun Club Road.
New deals just dropped at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees, holiday lights, and more. Plus, save with weekly deal drops on appliances, tools, and more. Valid 12/5 through 12/11. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Retirement Center Planning of the Rockies. I'll tell you what I love about these guys. They take a family approach to your retirement. They don't talk about just what investments should we sell this guy or this person. No. They talk about retirement. For over 40 years, they've been helping people. They talk about the safety of retirement, income, and growth. They talk about the different investments, of course, but they also talk about tax ramifications, the kind of income you're going to need each month in order to live the life you want in retirement. They talk about your legacy. Where do you want the money to go? Maybe you have a business you need to sell or pass down to somebody. And then, of course, the health care aspect of it. They put the whole thing together for you when it comes to retirement. You can talk to them 100% for free. They also have experts with long-term care, estate planning, and they can help you. The bottom line is put those extra dollars each month into your retirement before you retire, so you know how you're going to be living when it's that time of your life. You ready for this? rpcenter.com. Simple as that. rpcenter.com. rpcenter.com. Please give them a call. They're great people. Martino actually uses those guys, by the way. Now, Lazzara. Here's an attorney I love, Joe Lazzara. I'm going to get him on before New Year's. Maybe next week I'll get him on. He's a criminal defense attorney, and boy, you get caught up in a DUI or you get caught up in a domestic violence, or he's actually helped people that have shot police officers. There's two things that happen generally in a criminal complaint. One, you did it, and you need representation because you need the best deal out there. Joe knows the DAs. He knows the judges. They all respect him. You need a guy like that. Or you're innocent. You need a guy to get up in front of a jury of your peers and actually convince them that you didn't do it. It doesn't matter which way it goes. You need a criminal defense attorney. If you found yourself in a bind, I want you to call Joe. In fact, I want you to put his number, and I mean this, put his number right now in your phone. That's how important this is, because you end up in jail and you're scrambling, or you call somebody and they're scrambling to find an attorney. You don't want the wrong guy. You want Joseph A. Lazzara. 303-429-6200. Please put it in your phone. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Or check out Joe at referralist.com.
Diabetes.
What is Dave's question anyhow? Do you have any idea, Kelly?
How much more time we have?
Yeah, he was taking in some Venezuelan immigrants, and they tried to get their license plate, and he just wants to verify that state of Colorado will not give you a license plate unless you have a Colorado license.
I don't even know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm still not sure about what the question is.
So What does this have to do with the Venezuelans?
They were the ones trying to get the license.
Buy the car from him.
No, they already have the car. They
So
were
the
trying to get it
Venezuelans have
registered,
the car.
and the DMV wouldn't allow them because all they had were their Venezuelan IDs. They didn't have any Colorado IDs.
Okay.
What does it have to do with him?
He's taking them in.
He's letting them live with him.
I don't know if they're actually living together. He's supporting them to...
That doesn't sound smart.
Well, it's what Tom's doing.
Maybe he's got a bigger heart than I do.
There's a lot I could do with that statement, but I'm just going to let it go.
I'm not a nice person. Isn't that right, Jesse?
That's right, Dragon.
This is yeah, okay. What was your take on that? You think Walmart's going to cough up the dough?
You know, it's impossible for me to say because the guy was completely non-committal, which is something I understand why. I don't think he even has the authority.
No, the store manager does for sure.
Oh, he does. Okay. Yeah, but he was very serious about looking.
What was his name?
I'm sure he will.
His name is Cliff Harmon. Okay. And then Jim Sugar was the market manager, but I haven't heard from him yet.
Your son still work for them?
Starting at the beginning of the year.
I thought he was already there and out in Kansas City or something.
He's in Nebraska, and he went to Hobby Lobby. He took a store.
I'm going to be in a jury trial this week, so you're going to have a star-studded cast of folks hosting the show. George Brockler, Deborah Flora, Heidi Ganal, Christy Burton Brown. Hope you join them on the Dan Kaplan Show.
All right, 303-713-8255. I got to dive right into this. Dave, I was asking Kelly what your question was. Tell me if I got the question correct. You want to know if somebody with an out-of-the-country license can register a car in Colorado. Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, the answer from everything I'm seeing is yes, you can. You absolutely can. It says you'll need some documentation besides that out-of-the-country license, the vehicle's title, or a current out-of-state registration, a VIN verification if the vehicle was titled in another state, proof of insurance, proof of address, proper identification, which I am not sure what that comes down to. But it says, yes, long as it's proper identification, you can. Do you know someone having trouble doing it?
Venezuela people, friends of mine, they got a Venezuela driver's license. They went down there, they have auto insurance missions, and they won't give them plates because they say you need a Colorado driver's license.
Well, you definitely don't need a Colorado driver's license, so I don't know why they're saying that. But whether or not they have proper ID, meaning their Venezuelan license, that I can't answer the question to. But I can tell you this right now. If I lived in California, I can come register a car in Colorado with my California license. And it literally says at Colorado DMV, basically you can do it if you're from another country. So I don't know what else the deal is, man. We're not talking about getting a license. We're talking about registering a car, correct?
Yeah, license.
They must not just know who these people are. They must not trust whatever identification they have. I mean, really, in Colorado, you could probably register an Apple if you want, and I'll pass it on to someone I know that's helping a family out like that, okay? And I'm going to see if he's got any information. And as you know, that's Tom. I'm going to see if Tom ran into this issue at all, and I will have Tom email you directly. John Fuller, Fuller Law, loved having you in. Parting words, I mean, really, we talk about personal injury. I want to say something. A lot of people wait too long after an accident. How many people do you think right after that jarring experience of a bad accident, you get out of the hospital, you're finally back at home or out of the ER, and you might think, oh, okay, in a few days I'm going to feel better, but how long do injuries take to show up? I mean, I know that's basically a crystal ball question, but I mean, there's people that think they're going to be better in a few days, and weeks later, they're still in pain. I mean, like, for real.
Yeah, I think most people just have this attitude that I'm going to be okay and it's all going to work out. And they wake up and the very first thing that they're really concerned about is the property damage. Really and truly, you need to be concerned about the damage to you.
Yeah,
Look at the property to sort itself out.
Yeah, that's it, folks. Listen, any questions you have, John's happy to answer them when it comes to personal injury. 303-597-4500. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Dimitri, thank you. We're going to have updates hopefully tomorrow on Walmart. Scott, thank you. Kelly, thank you. Dragon, thank you. See you tomorrow.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay